hope this gummy cooks. Guess what? My pants around my ankles. You too? You too? We're twinsies. We're twinsies. Pants around the ankles. Ah! I don't care if you're man, chicken, mud, dirt, lizard person. You got a lizard pussy? I'm going to come over there. Interplanetary pussy diddling. I'm going to be there. You're going to be there. We're going to wear fancy outfits. One of them tuxedo shirts. No pants, though. Porky pigging it. Because that's how we do things. Helltown Radio. Chris is here. Rob's here. He's going to make some microgreens. Lita's here to tell us about smart shit.
Yeah.
Less dumb shit.
I don't know about smart.
Smarter than us.
Yeah.
Drink the glass.
I guess.
I
Sort of smart.
Swear to God. And you know what God says? Hey, yes, what do you need? And I'll be like, intergalactic bussy. And he's like, no.
The Galactibussy.
Intergalactibussy.
Or bestiality, you know, you can call it that too. We're talking about chicken pussies and stuff. I'm just saying. Call it for what it, you know. Call it what it is.
Call it what you want to. You fuck with me, now it's a must that I fuck with you.
Yes, we're back.
Yes.
Introduce yourselves. I sort of did.
Sort of diddled. Yes, my name is Christopher. I like coming on this television. It's not kind of like a television show. I like coming on the air here and just talking about weird stuff and listening to things about horror movies that make my balls crawl into my stomach and hang out with guests that ironically produce a lot of greenery but do not partake in a lot of greeneries. And then of course there's George that usually, I mean, today was that was a mild one today, man. That was a mild spicy, man. Like you did, Rob, you don't know this, but you didn't flinch. Usually the guests are like, when we start the show, like nobody really knows. We just kind of have a nice little intro music go on, and then George unleashes this alter ego, and like every single time it's like, and we actually remember Ace and Connor. I think that was probably my favorite of Ace's response to the whole thing.
It was like holy crap.
I think he literally almost walked out. I think he was so scared. Yeah, he thought that the whole show was just going to be like
me yelling like a redneck.
George yelling like a redneck. So
the worst I ever did, because I did that like on Dirtbag way longer. It would be like 2 minutes of me just doing that. I did it in a Hooters once when MMA fighters were doing like weigh-ins. I scared everybody in that fucking restaurant because it was totally quiet. Nobody could hear the music. And all of a sudden I just screamed woo as loud. I scared children. There were people in there. Like, definitely.
Get out of here.
Why is the weird man yelling? It's drugs.
Drugs and the butt plugs.
So.
And then.
We're cheer.
And then, and then there's the lady, the loveliest of the ladies in the room.
Yes.
And in general.
Yeah, I'm Lita, and I like to make, I like to talk about horror and make Chris's balls like jump into his body or whatever he was talking about. Also, I think today I'm going to brief on weird shit that people have messaged me.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
These are my favorites,
yes.
Lita. These ones are my favorite.
I'm like gathering it, and I showed George one the other day. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, dude. Like the boldness of some people. Like, I'm not like I will say some shit when I'm comfortable with a person, but I won't lead off with like what this gentleman off with. Like,
fucking weird. Yeah. Anyways, I will brief that a little bit, and I'm going to talk about. I'm not doing top 10s because plant horror is like, it's its own little thing. But I was able to five, so we're going to talk about 5 later on. And of course, we have a special guest. Introduce yourself, sir.
How's it going? My name is Rob. Can you hear me?
And now there you go.
Podcasting now?
Pull the microphone up.
Yeah.
So think about that soft part needs to be near your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a gentle teabag.
Yes.
Doing it?
A little closer.
Now?
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. So
Oh,
you need to
shit.
do it.
Perfect.
Yeah, you want it to be like. It seems
You
like
want
we all look funny, like
gentle,
we're all about
brush
the
your lips
fillet.
against
I get to
it.
smell the
The
gas
mic.
pass.
Yes, you
It's
do.
nice.
It is, man.
I guess, yeah, my name's Rob, and I own Robby D's Little Greens. I guess you've seen me around. If you've been at the farmers markets or some of the stores or some of the restaurants around here. The lovely Danielle on cue.
Yeah.
She has a lot of my stuff over there.
Danielle is definitely not watching the show.
I know.
I was just in a meeting with her. I just get a feeling that Helltown Radio is not on her preferred watching list.
Probably not. Probably not. Take a
It's
wild
okay.
guess.
I think she'd actually enjoy it. To be real, Danielle would probably, and Cole would probably love the shit. We need, you know what? We'll get them on the show. I think that's
for it.
going to be even more fun. I didn't even think about that. Rob, great idea, man. This guy's also, he's a great idea haver.
Yeah.
You could tell because he's got nice glasses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's got nice glasses.
It's studious, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
He's got
all are
that look.
actually. I think all of us are
Yeah.
the Four Eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Plus
God.
4 eyes today.
Yeah,
I even
Yeah.
got a haircut for y'all.
yeah,
You
dude.
notice that?
I didn't.
I'm looking way less shaggier. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I noticed you since I've met you. Your hair was short when I first met you,
Yeah.
and then it's grown out to this. Now you have nice hair, man.
I was like, fuck it one day and just started growing it out like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And then I finally got a cut today. I was like, fuck it. What
Yeah.
better occasion?
it's cool, man. I can see that hair with that type of hair and those type of glasses. I feel like you should talk like this. You know, he looks like if his jeans were a little tighter, you could pull off. You'd be super Euro, man. Like you'd be killing it though.
The Eurotrash? Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure. I can pull off
I
some
come from
Eurotrash.
Eurotrash family, so I can identify Eurotrash from a mile away. I usually you can smell them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you know nowadays, but that whole thing's been that whole like remember that whole stereotype the Europeans like all smell funny.
Yeah.
It's like it's really not like that anymore. I think like we've just
Make showers over there now?
I think that just like that whole thing, the globe. Now that we have the internet, all bets are off for foreigner stereotypes. Like they are not off the hook on tipping. Remember when that used to be? I don't know if you know this or not, but there used to be a thing like because in Europe and a lot of countries, tips are included into the price of the meal, so you don't tip.
Right.
And that's why they have and that's how why their restaurant business is way better than ours, and we can go down a big rabbit hole in that one, but. And especially people that work on tips. I'm one of them, by the way. I would like to say, but I don't even know why I'm all going on the tangent. You know why I'm going on that tangent? Is because that gummy that I got that I stole from George is starting to now work. Thank God. But wait, where were we?
Shitty tips.
Shitty tips. No,
Yeah.
but you look like a nice. You look like you could be a nice European lad. I would say he would look like Greek. You look like you'd be Greek or Portuguese or something.
Something a little down south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
something
I
like
could see you being a bass player for an indie rock band too.
Ooh, yeah, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. He might have frontman vibes. Like, what's that dude's Robert Rivers from Cuomo? Yeah, dude. You got like Rivers Cuomo vibe. Like,
Yeah, you know these songs about sweaters?
So, in addition to Robbie's Little Greens, and we'll get to that. So, Robbie's Little Greens, it's a microgreen operation that you're running, correct?
So we started off, and we are majority microgreens because
Yeah.
I started selling to like
What's a
restaurants.
microgreen?
So I think everybody knows what sprouts are, right? So you have a seed.
These are edible. These are edibles, not infused edibles. I mean, they're greens, but not greens. If you know what I mean. These microgreens are. Go ahead and tell me.
I would say they're the good for you greens, not the fun greens. They're not so fun, but they are good for you.
So microgreens is it just like baby plants? Is that what it is?
Basically, so you got a sprout when the second it has a leaf on it, it's
Right.
considered a microgreen.
Okay.
So yeah, it basically is a little plant. It's a little version of like a vegetable.
Okay.
So the whole reason is because that's where all the taste is. That's why chefs fucking
And
love
nutrients?
them. Your nutrients, your minerals are at its height because it's trying to push and grow. The taste is off the charts, fucking good. So that's why chefs love them. That's why it's starting to get like trendier now, and people are starting to like get into it. Because you can also get all your nutrition value out of a tiny little thing. Like, I don't have to eat a fucking bowl of broccoli. I can eat just a handful of like good tasting like broccoli sprouts. It tastes a lot better, which you guys will see here in a little bit.
Yeah, show us your sprouts, baby.
Thick ass sprouts.
Big, big old sprouts. All right, so back to the microgreens.
Yeah.
And
And
away from the
so,
body.
Yeah, I think I'm just starting now to sell at farmers markets. So a lot of it was like restaurants because chefs know what's up, like because more so than I have because that's your kind of domain. Chefs have been using them for but how long? That's just,
dun, dun.
for now.
Yeah, for now.
So it's just catching on now. Like chefs, I think 20 years is probably an easy guess to say chefs have been, if not more. So
I think I can remember when microgreens came on the scene, and it was like this mind-blowing thing for chefs. And it was like everybody just did the straight up like the classic rainbow mix. Are you familiar with this?
Yes. Yeah.
What is this? I'm not.
So rainbow mix, it looks like it's very colorful. It's green and purple and red and all that stuff. It's usually a mix. So it's like beet, bull's blood, which is type of beet, and like and radish and
like a daikon, like a green.
Daikon, yeah, green. Like you have a green daikon and a red daikon, and I don't know. Sometimes you'll get some other ones, but those are the ones I think that are primarily in like a rainbow or micro. Not celery, but what's a lettuce? There's the
arugula.
Yeah, you get a micro.
There's more than one type of lettuce.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Yes, I know that. I was going to
I
further a
looked at
joke
you
about
like,
the food desert.
Yeah, there's two dummy, iceberg and romaine.
Yeah, you ain't
Jesus.
Caesar and not.
All right, so microgreens, and so you produce, how many different types of microgreens are you producing currently?
Right now, I got 5 major ones.
Okay.
These are the ones that kind of chefs latched onto when I opened up about a year ago. So I was like, well, fuck, these are selling. These are the ones I want to put out there. And so those have been like my key ones. I've been spreading out though and trying different things. The popcorn that I brought your way, popcorn shoots. I think they're pretty fucking dope. I think we're gonna start doing those full time.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
What is that?
Popcorn shoots?
Yeah.
Baby popcorn. Like it's baby corn, so it's a corn shoot. So it looks like a feather almost. It's big. Mm-hmm. It's like a yellow. It's got a white stem, and then it's a big yellow feather for like a tip.
Yeah.
It looks like what a big bird's pubes.
Have you ever grown reefer? Is there a way to make mini reefer plants so I can just get like a little bud every morning and be like, hey?
Oh, yeah, like a super concentrated? That could be a business, right?
Dude, I don't think the cannabis plant works. I don't think it works like that, unfortunately.
The THCs and the flowers.
Yeah, it's all
micro flowers.
It's like, it's a lot like when you see like those late in life lesbian couples. That's what
the indigo
that's
girls?
What, yeah, that's what weed's like. No, when you see like like you see the ladies at the grocery store shopping together, and like they'd been married before for a long time, then came to realize that
oh, I love you though.
Yeah, and then they cut their hair really short and wear like
start yelling at kids for being near the lawn.
Drive around in a Subaru Forester.
Get off the fucking lawn!
Knee slapper. So you're producing essentially 5 different types of microgreens. You have the pea. I know the pea shoots that's my fave. I'm the big fan of the pea shoots. If you don't know what pea shoots are, it's not as kinky as it sounds. It's the shoot of a pea plant. Is it English peas? Is that what you use, or like there's different types of peas?
Those are English peas. Yeah.
And they're or sometimes. So is there a difference between a micro pea shoot and a P10?
What?
A P10 sometimes.
Fucking child, you said micro pea. I was like,
yes, a micro peen. Is there a difference between a micro peen and this?
Yo, I heard you was talking about little dicks over there.
Shut the fuck down. Shut them down.
Oh my God.
Shut them the fuck down.
See what I have to deal with?
This Lita, we haven't even gotten. Your section is gonna be. Just imagine what your section is gonna be like.
Yeah, you're gonna be way more profane than us today.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. Look at it. She's sipping quietly. She's like, "Yes, you fuckers."
I should usually I would out like names, but I'm not. I'm just gonna read what was said to me.
You're gonna out them after we get off the air, though. How's
you
doing?
Yeah. Oh, I definitely.
We gonna know. We gonna know. We're gonna know what you did with them dick pics.
Does that happen a lot? Do you get like a bunch of just random shit? Like that?
Yes, dude. Like, God.
Have you ever talked to a woman before that has a cell phone?
Yeah. So like, I usually like I've only gotten like dick pics maybe like once or twice in the last like year. Unsolicited ones. Like, I've gotten more than that, but those were like asked. The other ones I did not ask for those. But most of the time, it's like dudes just like asking for like telling me their life story, and then like jumping into, and this is why I feel like I need a relationship with you, and I'm like,
huh?
Fucking red flags, like yeah,
this
exactly.
Is what you look like.
Cloud
this is
shoes,
what you look like.
all the way. Like first of all, I didn't ask to know about your life story, you fucking weirdos.
That's God damn, dude. Like
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. So yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, that's a preview of what's to come,
Yeah,
everybody.
That's a preview.
We're gonna get back
Let's
to
get it. Yeah,
let's
like-
get back to this guy's micro penis. I mean, micro shoots, micro greens.
So
Are we even on the air anymore? Did
Oh,
the
yeah,
FBI
yeah.
Did the
Oh.
FBI just shut us down?
Nah.
Okay.
We're allowed to do
They
this.
laugh
Okay,
their ass
okay.
off right now because this is educational. We're learning about microgreens, and I'm about to ask you some really actually. We usually digress into the penis stuff like in the next hour, but we're gonna rein it back.
I'm sorry, I'm a child.
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
They're both
You
children.
just ran up and just like,
Anyway,
he's like a little slap
let
and then-
the real adult ask you a question.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
so how do you grow? Because like I do my own microgreens, but I do it in a glass jar.
Mhm.
Like I do the jar method and just kind of like
Oh, you like spin
with the
it?
screen. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
And-
actually so you have like a seed, like the little white stem comes out, right?
Yeah.
So that's actually sprouts.
Okay.
So the next step after that, if you actually like planted that
Mhm.
and it has actually has leaves and stuff, that's when it's considered a microgreen. So it's actually just the
Okay.
name of the stage.
So
of the
I
plant.
just have the sprout.
You have
Like
the
I'm doing
sprout.
the sprouts.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know that there was a difference.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
actually-
learned something new today.
It's like sprout, microgreen, baby vegetable. Those are like your four
Excellent.
main stages
So like,
there.
how do you grow? Like, do you do it on flatbeds or
So
hydroponic?
I use old-fashioned seed and soil. It's an indoor grow operation, so I basically have like baker's rack with the lights and everything. So that way I can have a room, I can regulate the temperature and the humidity. I can grow all year round. I can have like a stable supply. My seeds, I actually order organic seeds. I actually order them from Canada because it's actually a lot stricter up there. Their regulations and stuff, and their seeds are just higher quality. So I actually order my organic seeds from up there, and then I just use an insanely high quality soil and do
Cool.
like trays. Yeah.
Cool. So is there like a plant that is almost impossible to grow? Like, have you had an issue with a certain?
Oh, I've had issues with everything. I fucked up a lot of stuff before I finally got to take off. It was a lot of trial by fire. I've noticed that things that have a thinner stem are much more finicky. So like broccoli has this real skinny stem. So it's a little too wet, a little too dry. If it's a little bit one way or the other.
It's a little wilty.
It's a little wonky, a little to the left. It doesn't take much for those to kill off. But like something like the pea shoots are much thicker. I'm throwing you softball.
Thick
over here.
ass pea shoots.
Thicker shaft.
The scientific term is girthy, sir.
There you go, a girthier shaft.
It's a girthier shaft, all right? It has a lot more veins that go through it. It's vascular.
Mhm. Brings in more nutrients that
Yes,
way.
it pumps out the nutrients. Too.
So yeah, the stuff
PP
with
tendrils.
the stuff with it like thinner, they're a little easier to kill. Stuff like pea shoots. If you're starting off, I would definitely recommend like a pea shoot. It's just hard to fuck it up. You know what I mean? And that's a good kind of just get your feet wet.
I grow peas, but I've never like thought to eat them when they're like little tiny babies like that. So, and like there's such a short like growing window. I live high up on the mountain, so it's nice. Like it gets going when it's like nice cool weather, but then all of a sudden that sun is beaming and they're done.
Yeah.
So I got like maybe a bowl of peas this year, like a bowl, literally like a cup of peas, and I forgot to bring them in, and then I was like, oh, I grew that all for nothing.
It's tough to have like an outdoor garden, right? You spend like $20 in seeds to grow like $3 in lettuce and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's so hard. Although, like, I've been successful this year with the sun and the water. I have so many tomatoes. I don't know what to do with it. And I've learned because I grow a lot of herbs and stuff with basil. If you plop the flowers off, they branch out. So now I have literally like a bush of basil the size of this table, like, and it's
wow.
insane.
It's
Oh,
an
dude.
80s bush.
And, yeah, like
Dude,
it's
She's
a
got an
bush.
80s bush of
Got the 80s
basil.
basil.
You said you got a shit ton of basil and tomatoes. You can make all kinds of tomato sauce.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I plan on doing. But none of those tomatoes are Romas. They're all like cherry tomatoes, and those you can't really make sauce with that.
Oh, you can make those fucking
it's
those
Roma-
casserole
You can
pizzas,
pickle
the
Yeah,
Chicago
yeah,
style.
Yeah, you can pickle
Yeah.
them, but Roma tomatoes are mostly used for this. Like that's what you want for sauces. It's just got the texture and the
You can make
firmness of the
enchilada
tomato is
sauce then.
better for it. Like you wouldn't want to use a beefsteak and make a tomato like a good spaghetti,
house?
like a good
Spaghetti.
Italian sauce. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
ass.
Yeah.
So
You can make a white Midwestern strip mall sauce.
Yeah.
That's what you use. That's what you use. Just straight up like ketchup. ketchup, oregano, and water.
So, are your microgreens like limited to just vegetables, or do you do like microgreens for fruiting, like type?
So I've spread out now. That's what I was saying. Like if we started off with microgreens, I'm kind of branching out now. Like I started growing mint for a customer, so just like a standard mint, something you'd see almost like a wild mint you see around here. So I started growing that for them indoors, so they have a steady supply all year round. Basil is actually another one. I am growing like a regular basil and also a micro basil. Yeah, I'm kind of branching out, experimenting with some stuff, but it's kind of like I don't want to go too far out. You know, I want to see if I can find
you get
like
all like you're like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
What's your niche at that point? It's like everything.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, you know, sometimes like, and Chris will tell you, because I bother him like I bother everybody else on Main Street and everywhere else, like, hey, I got samples, so I'm passing stuff out, you know, like, hey. And so once I had some people who are like, hey, you know what, that was actually pretty good, man, like, why don't you bring those through like every Friday or every other Friday, then I can like, okay, now I'll start growing this out and I'll play with it more and stuff like that. So
that's
not
good.
trying to get
That's
too far
smart.
in.
Like the sample thing is like that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Definitely gets people like,
Well, because like,
it's actually kind of good.
like,
First one's free.
first hit's
Then
free,
you
bro.
pay after that.
Because most of the time people don't know, right? You can tell them what it is. They're like, whatever, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. You know, then you give it to them, they try, and like, oh wow, this is actually really good.
yeah. That's cool. Let me see. Let me think of some
What
more
else you
questions
got?
because I love growing stuff. That's my thing.
You know, funny enough, like you were talking about like outdoor gardens, like I traditionally have a brown thumb.
Really?
I cannot grow shit outside to save my life, man.
Oh my God, I thought that was
So
just because you were a
see,
kinky date.
I'm like opposite. Like for me, I cannot grow stuff inside. Like indoors, it doesn't work.
See, opposite.
Like I start my stuff inside, but they always end up dying or something goes wrong. But the moment it gets like a little bit warm and I can put it outside in like a little tent and have it go, it like explodes.
Nature does it.
So yeah, I'm really good at growing things outside, but inside not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's
I think
like
I overwater or something. I don't know.
yeah, I like that's also with the tinkering, right? Like I said, I killed a lot of stuff, so like I overwatered, underwater. Like I got it figured out down to a science now. So it's almost
cool.
I've almost made it stupid proof. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I'll tell you that much.
Man, I'm starting to like perfect my craft though. I have this orchid and it hasn't like bloomed or anything, but the stem that I have on it, it started to shoot out leaves, and that's never happened. So I have like baby orchids on my orchid, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? So I'm like looking at the internet, and there's like different, like some people say cut it and put aloe vera on it, and then it'll like stimulate root growth. And I'm like, what if I do that and then it doesn't work and I killed this baby? Because this has never happened to me before, and I've got like 3 babies on this orchid now, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even know if you take those off and start 3 separate ones, or how you go about that.
That's how, like, I have no idea. It's on the stem where they all get a stem where the flower shoots. And I thought it was going to be like another, like, because I've had that happen where they branch off and it does flower, but it's just leaves that are coming out of these nodules. And I'm like, whoa, that's never happened. That's sort of cool. So.
What else we got?
I don't know. We're still listening.
So your soil. So the only soil I know about is growing reefer soil. So like you say organic, are you using like bat guano and stuff like that, or is it different pH you're looking for versus like cannabis?
It is, yeah. It's different than you would use for cannabis. It's Sungrow, which is actually the manufacturer. So if anybody, I mean, it's actually, if you know, that's kind of a higher quality. They have like different formulas you would use, but yeah, it has basically, because you're growing in trays, right? So these trays are 10 inches by 20 inches, and they're only like 1 inch deep. And you're growing a plant this big in there. So you want something that can really hold on to water, because otherwise, the trays have holes in the bottom. If you water it, it just runs right through. So you need a soil that holds a lot of water and holds it the correct amount. So that's basically what I'm shooting for. So yeah, it's a little different than what you need for cannabis stuff, but definitely high quality, expensive shit. I can tell you that.
Yeah, everybody I know that like grows cannabis is definitely like talking about pH levels and all. It's like I use worm casings, and I'm like, bro, like
right. I went out back and dug some dirt up in the backyard.
You want to talk?
Have you ever been to Green Growers?
Green Growers, where's that?
Oh wow, they moved recently. So Green Growers is a cannabis-based grow shop, but it's a grow shop nonetheless. They actually might have some cool stuff, and you might be able to do a cool collaboration with them. They moved down. I think they moved off of Commerce. They moved down off Commerce somewhere. But yeah, Green Growers. Shout out to Green Growers. Green Growers, we're gonna try to get you on the show, bros. But yeah, so do you feel that when the harvesting of the microgreens has helped you in your manscaping game? Would you say that like you go kind of,
Yeah, no, it does, because before. Yeah, a lot of that's nicks. You're right. A lot less
feel,
bleeding when I do that now. You're right. I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably more cognizant. You don't want to, because when you're landscaping the microgreen, you're harvesting the microgreens, you're really not trying to get that soil in there. So you're going to get but you want to maximize the yield. So I feel that would translate in the manscaping game too.
Yeah, it's important because I'm Italian, so manscaping is a very, very important thing for sure.
Welcome to the jungle. Yeah, that was my silly joke. Somebody said I didn't. So nobody heard but my joke when you said I got 2 brown thumbs, and I said I thought that's because you were a kinky date.
I saw
and
that.
Somebody sent me a message, said you missed an opportunity, and I was like, that's what I was clicking on. Like, shut up. I'm just kidding. I love you, bunny. I love you, bunny. Oh man, what a great edible.
It's fucking working. I can see it.
Yeah, that shit is fighting the alpha brain.
This is how I know it's working, because your eyes are smiling, not just your mouth. You're just like your whole face is a smile right now.
Every hole is
man,
that's
great. I remember at Shannon's party, I ate 6 of those things.
Jesus,
I cannot believe that you are alive after that.
That's
crazy.
I ain't gonna say somebody's name, but I know somebody else that ate one and then didn't have the same experience you had.
They were not having a good time.
We were both ends of the spectrum at that point in time. That young gentleman was, you thought you were like in an asylum. He's just sitting there like,
At a certain point, I was just like, I've been there before. I'm sorry. I got to leave the room.
For me personally,
that's exactly what I was like. Let's give him some privacy.
I was just double fisting cupcakes and and grooving. I was like,
I got these glizzies. I did see you eat a hamburger and almost turned into like a fucking lobster.
Well, you mean all right? So the hamburger. So I take the pick up this. You weren't there, so I'm going to direct this conversation towards you and the studio audience. But there was a plate full of hamburgers, and I was extremely baked, and I was like, "Yo, I need a hamburger." And I didn't want to eat a whole hamburger, but I wanted the burger. So I grabbed the burger, and the burger looked like a chocolate chip cookie. If you were looking at it,
like a brookie.
So I started eating it, and I was eating it. People kept approaching me. Like, "Hey, man, where'd you get that cookie from?" Everyone's like psyched for cookies. They're like, "Where'd you get that cookie?" And I'm eating it, so then I was talking, and it was, it'd been out for a minute. It was not by any means that the burger was dry, but it'd been out for a minute. So I was talking to somebody, and I inhaled a chunk of it, and it went into my lung. When I don't know if that's ever happened to you before, but it gets down in there. Yeah. And I was trying my best. I wasn't gonna die. I still could breathe, but it was just annoying as fuck, and it made me it just felt like there was it's shit.
A tickle.
So I was trying to cough it out, and meanwhile, as I'm trying to cough it out, people keep on coming up to me like, "Oh, where'd you get the cookie? Where'd you get the cookie?" And I'm like, now fast forward about 15 minutes later, I'm eating an actual cookie, and it's a chocolate. It was a chocolate chip cookie with M&Ms in it, and it was a very descript cookie. And people were coming up to me, were like, "Hey, where'd you get the Fig Newton?" This is true ass story, man.
Yeah,
this is a true story.
People were fucked up.
So everybody took edible that fucking night.
Right?
Yeah.
No, well, I think there was a lot of ingestions of things, but but the best part is that my fat ass response was like, "Yo, where there's Fig Newtons here?" I was like, "Oh shit,
where?"
I love Fig Newtons. I loved it when Fig Newtons they went balls out and they did all the different flavors. They had strawberry Newtons, blueberry Newtons were the hard to find ones.
I'm sorry, strawberry Newtons kill everything else.
Yeah. Nah, blueberry, bro.
Yeah,
blueberry never had the blueberry.
I don't like regular Fig Newtons, but blueberry.
I love regular Fig Newtons.
My
but
mom
blueberry ones,
My mom would go on weird diets where certain foods were good. She got into a fig portion of her diet and was still be eating some goddamn Fig Newtons. I was like, that's goddamn cookies.
That's her cheat. That's her cheat cookie.
No, they ain't nothing cheating about that cookie. It's just dirty. Just a nasty ass. It looked like floor refuse that they don't wrap in fucking dough.
I can eat one now. Like, I think about that. Like, if I eat one now, I'd probably like. Bleh.
Think about all the stuff that were after school snacks that we ate in the 80s that were like terrible for you. They're 80% sugar.
They were yeah, but guess what, man? That's why we were the strongest generation. It's because we were given like we were just given we were like
cholesterol and sugar and told to like live.
Yeah,
you guys got sugars. We got beanie weenie ramen noodle and macaroni and cheese. That was the only 3 things that we ever got.
Mac and cheese, yep.
I fucking hate beanie weenie. I will never eat that again.
Beanie weenies, the little smokies.
Ew.
Like,
no, we had Guatley hot dogs up in that bitch. Like,
Beanie weenie is like
at the store brand beans.
It's like the dollar store version of like, like Spaghetti-O type deals.
I mean, I like that shit.
I hate it. I also don't like macaroni and cheese just for that because it was like a constant.
We were also in like V1 GMOs. We were on those strong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had the good ones,
right? Nobody knew about them, so they were outlawed, and we just had full strength GMOs in us and growing too fast and. I think that's what it is, man.
Yeah, I could.
I definitely see that. I got boobs at like 10. So, yeah.
I did have. I definitely had a full beard in middle school.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Oh my God. So you're a farmer. You're a gentleman. I heard something about you like it to make it the juice.
I do like.
You like it the juice?
I like it to make it the juice.
The juice is good. Yeah,
I do like the juice.
You guys remember that old Saturday Night Live?
Oh yeah, the juice.
Yeah, the juice is good. So Robby's on a new. Or can we talk about this, or is this a top secret thing?
Fuck it, we'll make it breaking news right here.
Breaking news! Breaking news! Coming live from the Helltown Radio News Desk. It's Robby D. Show us about it. What's going on?
Literally, my investors are gonna be pissy, but we're gonna break it right here, right now. So I think you saw, and I don't know if everybody else saw, but a group of friends, investors, purchased a place down in Middletown, right there on Main Street, actually a couple doors down from Vault and Cellar, which is a great place.
Shout out Vault and Cellar. Carrie, let's talk about. Yo, this
awesome
2 weeks in a row we talked about Carrie on the show. Yeah, Carrie, be on the show.
Yeah, I was gonna get Carrie, Ian, great people. It's a couple doors down from there. So we're gonna be in good company. But it's just kind of I guess it's an old theater. Actually, I didn't notice. I went down there and actually looked at the property, but I guess it was an old theater that Brian Sturgis said, I guess we should smell like cheese, so nobody liked it.
That was his upper lip, bro. Don't worry about that. And it was from under cheese as well.
There you go. So the theater was basically sitting empty, and it got stripped out and set up for a distillery. This is like years ago, and just been sitting there. And the other half is like a restaurant. And so they're going to mess with the restaurant side and the bar side, and I'm commandeering the distillery for a while. And I'm going to come out, hopefully be first to market with a shelf-stable microgreen drink.
Like regular drink, not alcoholic drink. Right?
Non-alcoholic, shelf-stable, so it won't need to be cooled. It should be first to market. We'll see. But because it's a full-fledged distillery and there's tons and tons of room, I think we're also going to look into, or I'm going to look into probably doing like a microgreen alcohol, some sort of liquor. I'm gonna start just playing around. I mean, I literally have a whole distillery to myself to just fuck.
I was gonna say, dog, like this could be. Are there people making microgreen drinks right now?
No. I literally might be the very first. There it is.
Yes.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. I wish we
could.
We could write on the ticker going on the bottom. No, because you know what? No bullshit. In like 2 years, when this motherfucker is like driving around town in a Bugatti, and we're gonna be like, all right, we were there. We were there. We were the ones that broke that news. Maybe I don't know. Just keep us in mind,
Just know if I'm driving around Bugatti, everybody's coming with me. Everybody's jumping in.
You heard it here first. Bugatti.
Well, I think also that let's jump into that next facet of this fabulous gentleman is that not only is he good at manscaping, not only is he good at making the juice, but also you do drift racing.
I do I work hard at drift racing. I'll put it to you that way. I'm still kind of in training mode.
Do you like Papa hymns before you get behind the wheel, or like is that how you run?
I do, man.
That's how you stay hard during the thing.
Steering, yeah.
That's my boner joke, guys.
There you go.
He said hard, and I was saying like, oh, dude, that's kind of weird. Like, who's driving around with a boner?
I love it that much. I love drift racing that much. It's fucking hard the whole time.
I get confused with the gear shift sometimes. I'm like,
What do you drive?
So I have. I've drifted before in more like stock vehicles, and I'm actually decent in that, like stock trucks. There it is, the Teriyaki Boys. God, it's sad that I know this fucking song too well.
That's awesome.
Shout out
Wait,
Fast and Furious Part 3. Best Fast and Furious, by the way.
Tokyo.
I would definitely be Little Bow Wow in Tokyo Drift. Only because he's the only one I can think of that's in Tokyo Drift.
Dude, the only person I think of is the white dude that's out of place, and he's all like, I race cars.
Yeah. It's like some like 42-year-old guy playing like a 17-year-old.
Yeah, it's the dude from that movie Legion or whatever with Paul Bettany in it. Like he's like the redneck dude that's Dennis Quaid's son, but he's in Tokyo Drift as this drift guy, and it's like, yeah, he just sounds like a guy from Manassas Park being like, hey man, I drift shit, man. You got a Civic? Put a glass pack on it.
Because he sounds like that in that movie too.
Yeah,
like that, I know exactly who you're talking about.
He's one of those guys that doesn't really act. He just shows up in the movie and does himself.
He just looks confused and scowls at people.
Yeah, he was like that in Legion too. He's like, I'll take care of you and your baby, even though it ain't mine. What's these demons coming out of the walls?
That's a great movie.
Yo, I'll simp for your demon baby lady.
Oh god.
All right, so you like?
Oh yeah. So normal cars I've actually been pretty decent at, but the car that I built is outskilled me. Like it's a lot of fucking car because I wanted the challenge. So it's a 91 Volvo 240 station wagon. If anybody knows,
I know that. Yes, my husband had one long time ago.
Yep,
those are hot.
Somebody in the chat earlier called you Volvo Rob.
Yep, that's
and
me.
they also called you Hearth Brooks.
Not, I know exactly who that is. I know
Volvo
exactly who's on that
Rod.
fucking chat.
Volvo Lita.
Volvo Rob. Yeah, so it's like,
Hey, he's got a Volvo, you got a Volvo.
Hey.
I had to throw in a vagina joke after all the penis jokes.
I miss his
Equal
car. Like
opportunity.
he had a really nice one, and I don't know what. Like I don't know why he sold it, but he did. He sold it. It was
Surprised he didn't put like a tractor engine in
right.
it.
He keeps all the cars except for the cool ones. What the fuck? What the fuck, Adam? Why do you keep
Come on.
the pieces of shit?
Come on.
Seriously.
Adam and I are about to be on a car venture.
I
too.
know, like he keeps talking about that because he's a tinkerer, and when he finds something to tinker, he's like,
He is,
I
man.
gotta get with
So-
We
I
go
gotta
to
get with
tinkering.
Chris and talk about fixing that car for him.
Yeah, we
Honestly,
are, dude. He's a
Chris
tinker.
hit me up earlier and asked for your address. And the first thing I thought was I was about to be like, yo, does Lita know that another vehicle's coming to her house?
Bro.
It's not. We're sorting out. We'll talk about it off air. It's not coming. It's not happening.
Adam.
No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
what are you getting, man? What is
We're
it?
working on it's. I got a busted ass Range Rover in my yard. I need to get out, and
Okay.
I'm like being a brat about it, and I want to hold on to it, and try to fix it.
Mhm.
So, anyways, it's a sore subject, and both of our
All
spouses
women are sore
are
over the
watching.
Range
Yeah.
Rover.
But
I am now.
there was a miscommunication along the lines, and we'll leave it at that. My phone's started buzzing.
I will tell
and,
you, though,
like,
he will
T-minus
fix it.
5.
Yeah.
Oh, I know he will. Like that's why I'm excited about it.
He's a master at his craft. He
Oh, man,
knows how
that's-
to fix anything, and especially cars.
Yeah, my wheel fell off one day halfway up a mountain. And fucking next thing you know, I still went to a movie and my wheel was back on my truck when I got
Yep.
back. And I was like, what?
Yep, he fixed that shit.
I was gonna rent a car tomorrow. So
Triple A.
Yeah,
Triple
so-
Adam.
Triple A. That's
Just call
also.
him up.
I do like those vehicles. What year is it?
2001.
Okay, I do like those style.
Yeah,
They're
it's
a pain in
good.
the ass though to
Yeah.
keep running for sure. They have tons of problems. But
Yeah,
this one's
that's what
actually
he
in
said.
pretty
It
good
was a
shape.
bad year.
Yeah, it is, but that one's actually in good shape. It just needs some. It just needs some. It needs some things that I can't do.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
He's totally messaging me right now.
Yeah. Let me see if I got let's see. Hold on. Let me see on my
I
end.
can't
Like,
believe you
tell
fucking
him-
told her. Don't tell her.
but I'll fix it. It won't be there for long. I swear. I swear to God.
No, we'll figure it out.
One weekend, I promise.
Anyways, all right. Anyway, so like more about your Volvo. I mean
Okay.
Volvo.
The Volvo.
About more about the Volvo.
The
Like,
funny part is this car is the boxiest, like it is
Yeah.
the boxiest, dorkiest car. It's like the anti-getting laid car. You're getting no Volvo with a Volvo for
I
sure.
don't know about that.
Yeah, did
I
you
mean,
just
he-
her eyes
She was
lit
like,
up.
I
Her
fucked
eyes-
with you.
yeah,
He sort of
dude.
betted me in that thing. So.
Yeah, Lita was like, "Hey,
I fell
Sweet
in love with
Volvo,
my
what about that
husband
dick?
day.
I'm in love with the Volvo." Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
like old cars.
Have
though,
you had it
so-
dynoed?
I haven't had dyno yet, so it's basically everything got yanked out of it. It's got an engine and a transmission came out of a Corvette, and that got slammed in there. And then
So you have a Corvette engine inside of a Volvo.
Like an LS swap.
LS, yeah, exactly. So it's a LS1 swap, the 5.7 swap. And to piss everybody off, I shoved a Chevy engine in a Volvo, and then I shoved a Ford supercharger on it. So
just Frankenstein the shit out of it
because I want to piss off
Tiger.
everybody.
It's like the Tiger Woods of drift cars. Man. That is what pow, pow.
It pisses
Racial
off everybody.
harmony.
I love it because it pisses off the Chevy guys. It pisses off the Ford guys. It pisses off like the European guys. You know, like the truest, like the Volvo guys. You know what I mean? So I love it. It either makes you super happy or it pisses off a person. You know what I mean? And the fact that I can run around and just, suck the doors off a Mustang. It's fun.
I think about you just mentioned those Volvo guys. I imagine like the nihilists from The Big Lebowski, like a bunch of like skinny Scandinavian guys with ferrets and bodysuits, like being, oh yeah, you think that is actually a Volvo? No, it's not anymore because you have done like you have
defiled it in the name of speed.
You've made it impure. It is impure, like your swarthy jeans.
It used to be God's chosen car, and you've ruined it. I bet you it's not even safe anymore.
I do pump a lot of EDM when I'm driving around, so I do have that part going on.
Okay.
What kind of EDM though?
I like my like some drums and bass.
Oh yes, some drums and some bass. Hell yeah, that's not drum and bass.
There you go.
No, but that's what he pumped.
That's not drum and bass.
I will
What
play
are
that.
you
If you hear, like, not too long ago, I was pumping some Mortal Kombat. If we all remember the Mortal Kombat song. If you're in one of those places on Main Street and you hear a jack playing that really loud down Main Street, that's me.
If you hear somebody jacking off really loud on Main Street, it's me.
That's the rude, dude. That's
I know. I'm just
Phantom.
playing your stereotypical.
Why don't you play some Brooks Brothers or?
I'll play some Brooks and Dunn.
Was it Kerncraft?
Or no,
Kerncraft 400?
Yeah, whatever that.
Zombie Nation.
Yeah, dude.
It's sad that I know all these. This is like right in the height of my clubbing years too.
Yeah, dude. I remember when I would go to clubs and the songs that are now jock jams, like stadium jams, were like the bangers in the club. That's how old. That's how I can remember. Like
how
back
about
in the day.
Black Sun Empire? How about that?
Damn,
That's
we're going
some real
deep
drum and
dive,
bass.
deep diving with Lita.
That evil shit. Yes. Yes, I used to promote for Nation, so I can relate. I love all that shit,
So
but only
Nation-
the drum and bass and breaks.
Oh, nice. So
Even
Nation,
though I can't break dance.
that was the place. Yeah, remember Tracks?
Yeah, I remember.
So I
Yep.
used to sneak in Tracks when I was in high school. That was the place. It was like Friday nights, I think, was the night, right?
Mhm.
I can't remember. Yeah, it's Friday.
Yep.
You would go down. Yep, and you used to sneak in there with fake IDs. Yeah,
Yep.
that's my 90s.
I used to promote for Velvet, the gay
Oh,
night,
wow.
and then Alchemy Night, which was the goth night, and then Buzz. I promoted for Buzz,
Oh, nice.
and I also promoted for Club 5, which
Yeah.
wasn't in that club. It was off in like
M Street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yep. Those
Yeah.
close to my heart. I love it. Still friends with a lot of people in that scene.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, I haven't been. I mean, my clubbing days was like, remember Fur and Love and all that?
Yeah.
Like, those were kind of like the ends of my. That's when I
Yeah.
started, like, fading away
Yeah.
from it and came out this way, actually.
Man, I can smell the Polo Sport and Newport Lights right now.
Yup.
For sure.
Hear the
Yeah,
clinks
yeah.
of the gold chains.
The
Oh,
old
my
ground
God.
beef. All
Man,
tied
there's
into the gold
there was all
chains.
sorts of good stuff. They had Club Fly. You forgot about the Club Fly. That was my favorite of the joints that was down there. That was right by 5.
Where was that?
That was on 5. It was not. Was on? I forget the name of the street that goes off the offshoot there. It used to look like they had the outside look like an airplane, the inside looked like an airplane that all the people wore. Yeah, that shit was
No
fucking
shit.
wild as fuck.
That sounds rad. No, I don't remember.
And then it
that.
turned into Club Red after that, and then I forget what it was after that. But anyhow, so when you drift race, do you have to wear one of those heat suits,
It's,
or should you wear a heat
you
suit?
should, exactly. You should. I do not, because they're expensive. They're fucking expensive, and I do have money and other safety things, but that's kind of one of the things I'm willing to roll the dice on. But I do have a helmet, so I do wear my helmet like I'm supposed to, and I have.
So what do you wear when you drift? Just like that?
Depends if it's hot or cold.
Yeah.
Do you have
Hope that you
driving
don't
shoes?
catch on fire.
No, I've actually, if it's hot enough, I'll be out there fucking barefoot, bro. They're like
Yikes.
shorts, a t-shirt, and some
Damn,
barefoot.
man.
If it's hot, if it's cold, just bundle up. That's all I do, man. And I got a fire extinguisher. It's fine.
Yeah, but isn't it like the engine gets so hot that it blows out heat that just comes underneath the floorboard and just fucking yanks your shit up?
yanks my shit up.
Just fucks it up.
It can get hot. Like right now, like drifting right now, like I'm gonna be down there probably in a couple weekends. It's gonna be fucking hot, right? We'll be back up to like 90 some degrees. The cars be hot. It'll be fucking hot.
I was just trying to. I was really hoping you had a racing suit and I could trick you into wearing it to the Catamount Lounge one night and then do a whole fucking just be fucking Talladega Nights up in that bitch.
You ain't first for last.
You know, you're definitely not, dude. That's fucking rad as fuck, though, man. Like, I think that drift racing, I was fascinated by it when it was like introduced like to America, whatever, 20 years ago or whatever, 20 some years ago. Yep. And like me and my buddy Troy used to just fucking be like, we used to watch. Do you ever see that cartoon Initial D?
Fuck yeah,
yeah, dude. We've seen all of them, and that's like, dude, I love that shit. I still actually I have one of the I got one of the RX-7 brothers. One of the Rotary Brothers RX-7 mini toy and shit still.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Initial D. They did a live action movie of that.
I saw it.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with this brand or theory.
Nah.
It's a great story. It's about this kid who doesn't realize his dad. His father has a tofu service, and he's the delivery driver for the tofu, and he has to go up.
I know it.
Yeah,
because my son is obsessed with it.
Yeah, and so he's got to take it. He's got to go up and over the mountain, like, and his dad's like recording his times, and he's got to keep this glass of water in the middle that he can't let it spill, and he's got to do all this stuff, and he learns the mountain and all this stuff, but he doesn't realize it. But his dad's like Mr. Miyagi, like down low, training him how to be a fucking drift racer, and then like all the kids that are actually drift racing on the mountain are like he's like notorious. He's the ghost of the mountain, and like he drives this very iconic. It was an 85 Toyota Corolla.
The 8086.
Yeah, 8086. Yeah, and it's like this panda coat. It's a panda. It looks like a panda and shit. It's wild, and then he ends up graduating. He ends up taking, moving his way up in the thing, and then like he takes on people. And there's like, I think his love interest story is weird as fuck because like he's in love with this girl that goes to school with him, but she has like a 50-year-old sugar daddy. And that's just
anime always too complicated.
Yeah. It's got to be weird, right? It's a good. Then it has to be like a weird twist.
Yeah, there's always that. That was a weird thing in the story because I thought like when I tell people like to watch it with their kids, they're like, "Oh, your kids like we're getting into that," and then I'm like, "Oh, here's one if they're a teenager to watch with them," and then they watch it like, "Dude, you didn't tell me about the fucking pedophile love triangle," and I was like, "God damn it!" I was caught up in the race mix to forget about like they were like, "Oh, you know what the story needs? Story needs." Pedophilia.
It's too bland.
Speaking of anime, guess what is going to be released soon? Spiral.
Okay.
Ooh, you don't know that?
No, tell me more about Spiral.
It's the same writer that did Tomie.
I'm like, I know a little bit. So
it's horror, like
well, so the anime stuff that I knew about, like that I was into for like when I was like, I guess you could say I was interested in it, was like in high school was like. Ninja Scroll, Akira.
Ninja Scroll shit.
I have all these Ninja Scroll, Akira, Macross, and like Demon Hunter, and there was like one
Fist of the North Star.
Fist of the North Star. That was another one. Like that. Those ones. Like I didn't. As far as like getting real deep, and then Initial D, obviously. Yeah. But after that was like the primary stuff that I like ever really got into. I dated this girl in college, and she was the manager of this really cool record store that had a VHS rental section and a DVD and VHS rental section. And they would like specialize in getting like Japanese and Korean and movies and all the anime manga stuff. And so, but we used to watch like Ichi the Killer and fucking Old Boy and stuff like that when it all originally came out. So my time frame within anime was kind of like shifted because I was went from being a teenager to being an adult, and I started watching the fucking live action stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Ichi the Killer?
No.
Are you familiar with this?
No,
my god,
you'll like it.
Uzumaki is like I have like a lot of that sort of stuff. So,
oh man,
but like the production for Spiral has kind of like been halted so many times, and I just saw a preview for it, and I'm like, oh my god.
Have you seen Old Boy?
Yeah, Old Boy.
Yes, I've seen Old Boy.
I never saw
the original one or the Josh Brolin one.
I've seen the original one.
Oh yeah, the original. See, the original one is way weirder, man. Like Ichi the Killer.
Way weirder.
Yeah, but Ichi and the Killer, there's this one scene that you would definitely like that I found to be impressive, but also made me get wee. Is like there's a scene and he like chops this woman down, starting at her ankles and just chop, and she's like falling and like he's just like it's wild as hell. But it's this crazy story about this dude who's like just trained from the time he's a baby to be this dude's killer, and he's just a fucking killer. And he's cut his mouth's cut open like to here, and it's also just thinking about it right now, my balls are in my stomach. I did it to myself this time. But I was trying to impress you, Lita. All right, I was trying to.
I'm impressed.
I was about telling you, but it had a big cult following.
Yeah.
You know what's on Amazon Prime now? Faces to Death.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Get the fuck out of here.
Thank you.
Yeah. I will definitely.
Seen
be
it
watching
once. Good to go.
Oh yeah, that's childhood right there.
Oh, yeah.
like 5 of them. 6
I
of
remember
them.
when that shit came out. Like we went to the shitty Video Palace because they had
Yeah.
like a section in the back. As soon as we were allowed to rent it, we were like, yeah, let's rent all of them, all 5 Faces of Death and a
Yep.
Trace of Death.
Yep, I definitely watched those. I was also on that Rotten.com.
Oh,
Lord.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
After I saw like a couple of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
photos, I saw like Chris Farley, and I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah, my uncle used to collect and like he would like rent videos from like Blockbuster and all those knockoff places. Errol's.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Errol's.
Yeah. And he would basically take it home and he'd like, copy everything.
Yep.
He had Betamax. So he had like top quality shit. And so he had everything. Like he had bookshelves full of stuff. And so I was probably like, I don't even know, like 6, 7 years old. And I snuck all of his Faces of Death and watched them. And I was like,
Nice.
I haven't slept right since.
Oh, dude, there's some of the stuff in it. I remember watching it and being like, "That one's fake," and then you'd see something real, be like, "Yeah, they really doing that one."
Yeah.
Fuck. Like,
Speaking of unimaginable gore, guess what's coming out soon?
what's that? Unimaginable Gore, the movie.
Terrifier 3.
Oh yeah,
Terrifier
I am
3,
so
Return of the Clown.
excited.
Art is back.
Yes, he is back. I saw the previews, and there's this one part where he's like dressed up like Santa Claus, and he starts like doing the snow angel in blood, and I'm like, yeah, God, thank you. It's the little things in life.
Oh, so real quick, because we were talking about kid stuff and we're talking about horror movie stuff, which I love. I should probably say, because I'm on the I coach for Front Row Soccer Association, and I kind of pushed out that I was going to be on this tonight. So hopefully there's no kids watching. Kids, please, if you've been watching, please go back.
I teach children
You can't
martial
see me
arts.
now. You
Fuck that.
can't see me now.
I
You
just
can't
thought
see
about
me
this.
now.
I just thought about that. This is Coach Robby's private time. Let's go. We'll see you on the fields. I
Well-
just thought about my
Well,
bad.
kids that I teach jujitsu to, watch this and take notes. This will help you strangling.
Any kids that I know that are watching this, just don't use cuss words when you go to school. Amongst your homies, it's cool. But,
Lily cuss out everybody.
Yeah, like I'm punk rock. Say
You
the
wanna
say the
sure-
words.
Yeah.
They're words.
Lily strangle people, kick people with them
If
steel
there's kids-
toes.
I don't know if there's kids watching this. That's on their parents, man. Like,
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's
not on
already-
us.
As a
Yeah,
safety
not our
precaution, I
fault.
definitely put not recommended for people under 18. So if you're watching it, you already was warned.
Yeah, you've
Right.
been warned.
Yeah, right. You've been warned.
Also, like I don't teach anybody, but Sneak the Scary Movie. Watch it.
I didn't sneak
It's
a scary
fine.
movie as a kid, but I
You'll
did.
be all right.
I snuck Action Jackson. Like
wow.
we would have
What?
to get. So we would have to get one movie. See, you don't know about Action Jackson. That's Carl Weathers in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
All right, so like my dad got Action Jackson. My mom probably got something like she probably watched before, like fucking some like romantic comedy. And fucking, we were pissed at my younger brother because he went with dad and he picked fucking Free Willy. I was fucking furious because he's like 7 years younger than us, and I was like, "What in the fuck are you doing?" So like, my parents leave, and I was like, "I'm switching the cases. I'm gonna watch Action Jackson tonight." And we go to my grandparents' house on the way home. My dad's like, he knows I switched it, and he hasn't said anything. He's not yelling at me. And he's like, I can't wait to go home and watch Action Jackson. And keeps saying it. And I'm like, oh, no.
Not the Action Jackson switcheroo.
See, like we didn't like my snucked movie was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
It was weird. I was allowed to watch old horror movies. I just couldn't watch newer slasher ones. So like,
Hellraiser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. These are all like I grew up all the horror movies, man. Like it
Yep.
was just like nothing. Now that I
Yep.
think back on it, it was the right thing, wrong thing.
No,
Right?
absolutely is fucking right
It's the
there.
right thing? Okay,
Always,
all right.
always.
Yeah, because all
Always.
the
That's all I watch is horror movie. I'm probably pretty lame in that. Like I will sit there and watch an action movie or the occasional comedy, I guess. But
Comedy.
I prefer.
Fuck laughing.
I know. Fuck laughing. Where's the blood?
She likes
Why isn't eyeballs popping out right now?
Arnold. She always a sucker
I
for
do.
an Arnold
Yeah,
movie.
I do
though.
love Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Come on.
He's kind of my secret husband that nobody knows
She
about.
sweats the Austrian.
I told Adam that I would leave him for Arnold, even though he has probably a short shelf life now. Because what is he in his 70s?
He's like
now?
78.
I saw
Yeah,
a video
like,
of him
he's
less
super
than
old
like
as fuck.
4 or 5 years ago. Somebody tried to jump up and kick him in the back, and they bounced off of him.
Yeah.
He's still
Like,
sturdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
No, he
like,
wasn't
Alright.
even facing him. He was like turned around and like they bounced off him, and he
Yeah.
turned around like, "What are you doing?"
he's
Anyway,
like, come on.
Arnie,
What are you, girly man?
I'm young and I'm fun and I will totally marry you.
I mean, he banged
Arnold,
that housekeeper. You got a shot.
Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger. That's fucked up, man. Like, come on.
you still
You got- yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you're
dude,
way
like,
hotter than the housekeeper. The housekeeper was like,
Yeah,
a
nice
fucking-
save.
Some, hey,
no,
man,
like,
you know what?
that's always been the knock on him because his wife was so hot, and the housekeeper was like,
Yeah.
just like
Maybe
a
that
she,
regular
was-
chick.
she was just nice to him.
Yeah,
That's what it
well,
is.
There's a great, there's a, I think it was Bill Burr does a bit about that, or no, it was Joe Rogan or Bill Burr where he's like, basically
it's
it's like
Burr.
he finally found somebody that was like could dominate him, you know. So, I don't know, man. Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you're watching, you don't need to explain shit to nobody.
Yeah, call in and tell me about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please call
Shit
in and
happens,
talk.
man.
Yeah, talk to Lita.
Yeah.
We can do like a yes.
Hello.
We
Yes.
could just go for some
Come on.
coffee. That's great.
Come on. She
I
needs
like
air.
This would be perfect time if we still had call-ins for people to
Yeah.
call in with
Yeah,
their
that's my
Arnolds.
only like outside of horrors. I love Arnold
I think-
Schwarzenegger.
What if he made a horror movie?
I mean, he has.
Yeah.
No, I mean like now. Like if he made like a really
His
gory
recent one was Maggie. So yeah,
Ah.
he's
dude.
he's done
Have you seen what's that movie with Kurt Russell? The Tomahawk, something or other. Bone Tomahawk.
Bonesaw
it.
Tomahawk.
It's apparently super gory. There's
I've
like
seen the
cannibalistic,
scene. All right, yeah,
like
yeah, there's all sorts
Native
of wild
Americans, and like
No, there's a scene where his homeboy gets scalped in front of him, and it's like, yo, it's full frontal. How's you doing? I made myself watch it, like for some reason, like a long time ago. I don't know why I've never told you this before, but yeah, that scene. Have you seen? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's really one of those brutal. Like they did a great job with the special effects on it, but it was made me. I had to sit down and like
You're
elevate my
like,
legs.
"Ooh."
Yes, it was fucking wild that his homeboy gets scalped in front of him, and like he just sits there. He's in his cell. He got him in prison.
Okay, Chris, we're gonna have to go see Terrifier 3. I'm sorry, it's gonna
Yeah.
have to happen.
So much balls
All
and
right.
throat.
That's great. You know, well, I'm just gonna take a Valium before we go in and just be like, okay,
It's just gonna have to happen.
It's gonna happen. Dude, I'll do Lamaze.
So do you,
I would stress eat the whole time. I was like, nom, nom, nom.
just looking around, trying to pretend like you're watching, but you're not.
Watch your popcorn.
So do you ever go up to like Psycho Cinema?
Yes,
That mountain? Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
I haven't been up there in a while, but me and the kids we used to go up there almost
Yeah.
religiously. Yeah.
Every now and
Faye.
then, like I like
Faye.
check out the like good stuff. Obviously, because it's Tuesday, we can't check out like their usual Tuesday stuff. But
Yeah.
when they have like the new movies and new releases, I definitely try to get up there.
We love that vibe. The whole
Yeah,
vibe, man.
I
like,
love it.
Especially they talk before and Faye comes up.
Yeah,
And,
and
oh,
then
it's
like
really cool.
taking the pictures together. It's
Yeah.
like it's a whole community. It's nice.
Yeah, it's cool. I got the kids. Like, I mean, we've been going up there since they were young, so we actually have pictures of them like as they've gotten older, and now they're teenagers.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
rad.
That is cool. She's done it like for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
Like
It's been a minute.
yeah, that's
sure.
crazy.
Kids are
Whole
really
ass
young.
Decade.
Yeah, it's wild. And this is us. This is me doing a shameless pressuring, public pressuring. Come on, Faye. Even though I know you're definitely
Yes.
not watching Faye.
We can
were gonna
talk about
I'm gonna
scary
send you this
things
clip.
together.
Yeah. This would be a great conversation circle for everybody. But yeah, we've done. We did a podcast. We did a podcast with her before. It was fantastic. She's a great woman and does cool stuff for the independent and scary and science fiction and all things
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
All things cool. She did. I mean, dude, she did No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's that smell?
Oh man, what a great movie. That was such a great time in wrestling. Did you watch it at that point in time?
No, I didn't.
Did-
I,
did-
was,
it
like,
was
I
like-
wasn't a wrestling.
So they made a Hulk Hogan movie that wasn't Hulk Hogan. So this whole movie, it's a
But
character that's just
based-
like Hulk Hogan, but they call him something else, and it's
The
about.
Ripper.
It's like, have you ever seen the movie
the Ripper,
Kickboxer
No.
or Bloodsport with Jean
Nope.
Claude Van Damme? So
Nope.
like, imagine any martial arts movie where like there's a big star and somebody beats up their little brother, and then he comes back for revenge, and it's just that with Hulk Hogan.
It's when they introduced Debo as Tiny Zeus Lester, and he was
God.
Zeus. And they brought him in. They actually brought him into the WWF as a promotion for the movie.
Nothing's worse than to do with an afro and he shaves a Z into the side of his head,
Yeah.
but everything's bald except for the Z. So
That
he just
back-
had like fucking afro Z's on the side of his head.
And do you know how many Bamas did that shit after? Do you know how many Zacks went out there and just fucking shaved
Yo,
Z's
look at
in
my
the side
Z.
of their- But back in the 80s at that point in time, that was scary. You remember that fucking Survivor video for fucking Eye of the Tiger?
Oh yeah, dude.
Where it's like 5 dudes, like 5 bros in tight-fitting leather jackets and bulging jeans,
And,
and they're like
beret.
they're walking in tune together, like dun
rising
dun
up.
dun dun. And that was supposed to be tough back then. Like now, you just be like, why are these gay dudes trying to harass me? And back then, like a black dude with a big
Oh,
Z
yeah,
shaved
like,
into his afro was.
If you look at Grandmaster
dangerous
Flash
and
and the
crazy.
Furious Five, you'd be like, yo,
Oh, yeah.
what is up with these crackheads?
Yeah, I mean, look at Mr. T. That was
supposed to be like
the baddest ass badass there was in the 80s, right?
Yeah, that was
And
the
I mean,
badass. Now you have like an 8th grader that's got face tattoos and a fucking nickel
Teardrop.
nickel under his belt already, and you're like, oh, shit.
Oh, dude.
But Tiny Zeus Lester, that was a great. But anyways, in the movie, it's like just a cheesy ass, like you saying, like the network wants him to wrestle on their show, so they kidnap his brother. They kidnap his like handicapped little brother. And the guy who plays the evil network executive, he plays the network executive in like Wayne's World also, but he's not. He's like Rob Lowe's assistant. You know what I'm talking about? That comedian. He's like, if you've seen him in movies, you know what I'm talking about. He plays the bad guy. He's like such a generic bad guy, and he makes like Hulk Hogan, aka the Ripper, wrestles for the Good Wrestling Federation, and then they come up with their brand, and it's like street wrestling, and it's like just a bunch of like racial stereotypes fighting in like steel mills.
Honky.
Yeah, they're not wrestling, they're just like swinging wrenches at each other and shit, and like
Yeah.
anyways, and then
I can definitely see why I didn't.
it's worth
watch
a
it.
watch. It's definitely worth an edible and a watch.
I haven't watched it.
I think you would be thoroughly entertained by the
He literally like smashes the window and pulls the dude out and asks him what that smell, and he says, Dookie.
It's the That's probably the most iconic scene in that movie, because at that point in time, we were all at the age where a poop joke was like the fucking apex point of comedy.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, and it's not just that; it's Hulk Hogan and a poop joke all in one. Like,
And
wow.
he's like,
yeah, he pulls him out, and he was like being scary '80s guy, you know, like back then when you act scary and people be like, "Oh my god, he's rabid," and like so he's grabbing, he's like, "Urgh," and he's holding up this limo driver, and then the limo driver poops on himself, and then Hulk Hogan asks him, he's like, "What's that smell, brother?"
That's how you know the 80s were so influenced by cocaine. Somebody was like sitting around like, yes, let's run it. Film that.
He's like, "That's how I feel right now, brother. Hulkamania is gonna run through you."
Bro, I forgot all about that movie. It all came flashing back when you all were talking about it.
Oh
I
my
haven't seen it
God.
forever, man.
So then Hulk Hogan has to go and wrestle his way through the Bad Guy Wrestling Federation, and he takes on the baddest of all the bad guys. Zeus.
How did this not win an Emmy?
It did. It won several Emmys, Grammys, a few Oscar awards, and a whammy.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a great time to be alive.
The fucking
As an impressionable like adolescent, what a great time to be alive.
For sure.
Yeah, I feel like this is a great segue into my weird conversation. So only 4 words were said. I'm only going to say one because I feel like each episode of Helltown, I'm going to read off what people have messaged me. 4.
Is it the one I've already know?
Yeah.
I'm already getting ready to laugh my ass off
You
because
already like you've got to know, right?
I find
You've
that this
gotta
is
know.
there's something, maybe the stars and the moons are a lot. I think there was like some weird like moon thing that happened, and that's
Oh,
why the
retro.
world,
Yeah, we're in retro right
there
now.
was something that was happening, but it's weird that we segued from like a niche movie talk from us to Lita now, and then now Lita is going to tell us.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan
About-
to dick pics.
Yeah.
They go
Transition.
together.
Actually, 5
Actually.
words. So This is from a Sion.almonds. He's got 8 followers. He's got 138 posts, and he follows me. He says, "Hi, do you like poop?"
Mhm.
That's it. Hi. Do you like
What an icebreaker.
What the fuck? I didn't even answer. How do you answer that? Like, I like pooping because if I didn't, it would kind of hurt. So,
What's your stance on poop?
Yeah.
like,
Yay or nay?
what
Where
the
are you?
fuck? What is with you?
Oof.
Like, at least like put some context into this question. Like, well, where are we going here? Like, are you just gonna ask that and nothing else? He hasn't like said anything else, but I figure
I don't think that ask is with anyone he's ever asked has gone good. Where they're like, "Yeah, dude."
Like, right?
Come to mention it.
Yeah, sure. Who doesn't?
Yeah. It's a delicacy.
I fucking love it.
Last
Amazing.
Tuesday, I'm just
Best
talking
thing
about
ever.
that.
It's a delicacy in my grandmother's home village.
Fucking weird.
Pooping
So,
bug.
yeah, that's like you guys started talking about poop, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the perfect segue into my one. Next week, we'll go into the weird guy who talks about his life and then wants a relationship.
Oh man, I kind of want to hear that one.
Yeah,
That's all we
it's
get
really
this
long.
week.
Just that.
I mean, that was a good one.
That's
That's
perfect.
a
That's
good one.
perfect.
Oh man.
You know what we should do
Teaser.
next week?
I gotta give you a teaser.
You know what we should do next week? Or we can do it now, probably. A
What?
message from the Helltown thing. Be like, "Do you like poop?"
Yeah, you should. You do. I told you to do it. I literally gave him proof. He's like, "Oh, I should message him through the Helltown thing and say, do you like? Do it.
How are you?
Do it."
I mean,
Because I doubt he listens to this.
But he's memorable, right? He did what he achieved. He
Yeah.
wanted to be memorable.
Yeah,
he
he
wanted you
got
to know.
Yeah,
he wanted you to think
now
about
he's
him.
on, like, now you're fucking internet famous now. Like,
Yeah,
your
and you're
name.
thinking about him, right? You're talking
Yeah.
about him.
Oh, here,
he's won.
it's-
You ask me,
it's-
he's won.
I mean, the name
The poop man won.
dot almonds. I mean, come on now. What the fuck? That's weird shit. Yeah, that's definitely the weirdest. Like, I've had weird stuff, but that is like,
It would be
it was
interesting.
new.
I
It was
kinda-
something that was never done before, so I'm impressed in that.
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
wow, he asked me about shit.
it's
okay.
a new angle in this day and
Yeah,
age. To have
I'm
a new
like,
angle, is something.
Okay. So let's see if he answers.
I want him to answer though, because I really would like more
Do you like
information on
poop?
this.
Do
Just
you
put
like-
hi. Do you like poop? Hi. Hi.
Hiya. I do.
Well.
Yeah, he's been messaged.
He's
Yeah, we'll have constant updates throughout the show.
Cool.
It's
Awesome.
like, what's Helltown Radio? Yes, I like poop. It's my favorite. In fact, I was telling somebody the other day. I just asked them the same
You're
question.
right. This is awesome. I was just talking about this.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so that's my teaser. Next week it's gonna get a little bit hairy, so
I think this week
I
it
don't know
got a
about
little
the poops,
hairy.
but
She's got to let it grow, you know.
yeah,
Much
gotta-
like the
gotta nurture it.
much like the microgreens or the
Mhm.
pubes. You must let
I
them
gotta
Mhm.
nurture the weirdness
nurture
a little bit. So, yeah. Mm,
Greens.
yes, plants. Oh yeah, I also wanted to talk about like horror like movies and plant related stuff. So we're gonna do that. And then I have 5 because there's not a lot apparently. Like plants aren't that scary. Who'd have thought? Not scary enough to like kill you, but some do, such as the plant, the little like what was his name? Audrey, or
Sydney?
like no,
Audrey.
no, it's Audrey.
Oh, that's
Aubrey.
Aubrey.
Audrey.
Audrey, yeah. Little Shop
Drake?
of Horrors. It was a flower shop owner discovers a unique plant which he names after the shop owner that he's pining for, Audrey number 2. And then he discovers that Audrey number 2 likes blood and guts, and so he's feeding this plant, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you haven't seen it already, what the hell are you doing with your life? This thing was like, it came out in 1986. So
Well, there's been like how many? There's been several. I thought it was remade.
Really?
It was a remake of a remake of a remake at that point in time.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was its own like unique, special little. So who'd have thought?
Also, I will email you. I actually wrote a hip hop a hip hop version of that as a remake. It's actually pretty well written. I'll send it to you. I wrote it like with this dude I was friends with, a rapper from Columbus named Copyright, and we wrote this together like, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago. And when I sent to my one friend that would know about if it would be good or not, he was like, the problem is all the licensing, so I just got discouraged and put it away. But it's actually, I read it like a couple weeks ago. I'll send it to you. It's good. I'll find it.
Ooh, I'm excited for this.
Right now. I'm gonna look for my thing right now.
So the next one is The Happening. That's
and this is literally
movie.
By the way, Kelly wants to make sure that you know this is literally Little Shop of Horrors is her favorite movie.
Ooh.
So thank you.
So okay, that gives me ideas.
Yeah.
Ooh, future birthday gifts.
Oh, I'll show.
I've got ideas now. Thanks
I
for
gotta send you this TikTok reel. This woman, she makes an Aubrey type plant out of. It was everything. She got a Dollar General.
Yep, I saw that. I've watched the same one. Yep. Yeah, it's like dope as hell. Yep.
Yeah, it's really cool. Sorry,
cool.
all right, sorry, lady, please.
So the next one is The Happening. It is a M. Night Shyamalan film, I believe. Apocalyptic threat to humanity arrives in the form of pheromones that are emitted from the trees that make people kill themselves. I actually enjoyed the movie. I don't like his films. I watched the last one, which was Trap, and it was okay.
Twist.
There's no twist in it because like right off the bat, the dude's a murderer. Like
that was like a South Park thing. Then when they were talking about M.
It's a twist.
Yeah, dude.
So it's a good film. Definitely trees making people kill themselves.
That was a good one.
But in real life, the trees really don't.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Mark Wahlberg where he's just like, it's the trees?
Yeah, it's the tree. Yep.
I'm a professor. These are the trees
doing
it.
It's the trees doing it.
I'm a professor now.
Number 3 is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Attack.
Yes.
I've seen all these. This is so great.
Cheesy,
So do you remember
1978 movie spoof low budget delight where oozing tomatoes go on a rampage, splattering innocent victims?
What other movie horror franchise was the dude from Attack of the Killer Tomatoes from?
I don't.
Adam's Family.
Oh, I did not know
Yeah, the
that.
dude that played what's his name? The original what's it called? Gomez on that show.
Oh,
was he in Attack of Killer Tomatoes?
Yeah.
Oh, was he really?
He was even in the cartoon.
I'd say nerd knowledge on that. Part 2, Return of the Killer Tomatoes, starred a young George Clooney.
Holy shit.
There's some nerd knowledge there. I remember because I was a kid when
I thought he started off on Facts of Life
Wow.
as the mullet.
I did not know that. That's great. So number 4 is The Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I can't even read my own writing. Abby Arcane returns home to Louisiana to investigate a deadly swamp virus. She bonds with the disgraced scientist Holland. He dies and becomes the Swamp Thing. I don't know the story. I have never seen it, and I
know Adrienne Barbeau's in it.
It's-
The lady that remember in Tales from the Crypt or Creepshow, the wife that's always
It's
bitching that
Creepshow.
gets
Yeah.
like snatched up or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's Creepshow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the same actress is in that.
Yeah,
joint.
I have a friend that's like into Swamp Thing and the comics, but I've never really.
Well, the
gotten to it,
comics
so-
were definitely like way more like they had a good writer and they
Yeah.
were way more popular. And the movie was sort of
They had
like
they had a kids cartoon too.
I think even the
Yeah.
cartoon was more popular.
Swamp Thing.
Well, I know the
Yeah,
first
I remember the cartoon.
the first Swamp Thing movie was way more serious, but the second ones were more like kids movies.
When I was 16, I had a 4-chamber bong that we called Swamp Thing because it was big and green, and like it was like everybody's favorite like novelty bong because it was like nobody had 4 chambers back then, dude. And it was like this whole ass like contraption, and it would get so murky from all the weed we'd smoke through because when you're smoking swag, you're smoking like a billion
80% seeds.
Yeah, it's just like blowing it. You remember the bongs in the 90s that
Yeah.
smelled?
Graphics.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a graphics 4-chamber bong called Swamp Thing.
Nice.
Great. Anyway, I just wanted to interject that.
Cool,
about
cool.
weed.
What was
And
his,
my,
like,
like-
what was his special power? Sorry, real quick, Swamp Thing. Like, what was his thing?
I
What
think
did
he
do?
could just control like
Everything.
all plant life
Yeah.
in the swamp.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And he could
All
talk
right.
to the animals.
Oh, he like half
He-
Aquaman,
yeah.
half plant.
Yeah.
That's what he could do.
So the final one, which is personally my favorite out of all the plant ones, The Ruins. Amy,
remember that joint.
Stacy, Jeff, and Eric, they're looking for fun. They all vacation together in Mexico, and they decide they're going to climb up on one of the ruins. And they get trapped up there and slowly get picked off by the carnivorous plants that are on top of the ruins. It is a fantastic movie. Well done. And like it's
When
such
did that come out?
It came out like I want to say early 2000s.
Yeah, like,
Okay, I
like
think
2005.
I believe Kelly and I have seen this movie.
Yeah, it's
as well.
it's a really good movie.
Yeah,
I
there
loved
isn't
it.
like one of the boyfriends a mad dick and
Yeah.
like, he tries to run off.
Yeah,
They shoot and run.
yeah. He's an asshole. He definitely gets what he deserves in that movie. So those are my recommendations for plant horror movies, guys. So I hope you watch it and tell me what you think. And if you have any recommendations that you know, because I had a hard time finding plant horror movies, tell me about it.
I have one. It's not really plants though, but it sort of is.
What?
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, that's like Alien though.
Yeah, what they were pod people though. They did grow out of plants, but like because if you, like when you walked up on them, they looked like they were growing. But yeah, it was aliens. It definitely was.
Yeah.
It was like alien and.
We should write a microgreen horror movie.
Attack of the microgreens.
Yeah,
Sounds perfect.
I'm here for it. I love it.
A little shop of microgreens.
It'd be like little tiny, like the Audrey.
Yes.
I actually. So
Hey, we gonna eat you.
I found the file, so I guess I'm gonna get your email address from you. I'll send it over to you.
Send it to me because that's gonna be awesome. You know, I love that shit. Love it.
Oh, dude. So movies. So, Chris.
Yo.
So Catamount had a thing happen this week to one of the fine cocktail merchants at your shop.
Yeah, dude. Yo, shout out to Julieta Hernandez. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out Julieta, you were being shouted out on the show, so now you will have to watch this. We'll get at least a view out of that. Maybe two, who knows? But Julieta did a spectacular job. She came up with this drink called the Victory Coupe, which is equal. It's 5 equal parts. And those parts are Malarkey, a local distilled vodka, lime juice, and orgeat, but it's a little bit tempered orgeat, and then tonic water, and it's topped with a layer of red wine on top. We use a Pinot Noir for that, and it's a very nice drink. It's refreshing. It's good for the summer. It represents the 5 rings of the Olympics, and that's why it's 5 equal parts. So she entered into the Virginia cocktail Virginia man, I always drop the ball on
Cocktail games.
It's the cocktail games. That's what it is. Yeah, the Virginia cocktail games. She won the Northern Virginia region, which is pretty impressive because that includes all the people in the places where the people walk.
She won by I saw it. Yeah. I seen it with my own eyes. I was like, damn, girl.
She
this is
definitely
a great drink though. It's fantastic.
It's a really good drink.
Yeah.
And I like that it's simplistic, and I like especially from a bartender standpoint when after you make 3 or 4 of them, that's like Automatica, and it had to because we sold so goddamn many of these motherfuckers.
So this one's been really good.
Yeah, it's a really good one. It's great. It's a low. It has low ABV essentially though too, which is good because one of the issues with having a cocktail bar is that people come in and you want them to hang out and they want to hang out. Mm-hmm. But if you have you cranking them out with some real heavy drinks like Long Island iced tea style drinks, or I'm just using that as a shitty reference point, but that's just because we have shitty viewers. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, guys. I love you. It's you get you need to have some lower, we have that other one, the Desert Rose, which is another Julieta original.
Yeah, that's my night drink when I'm it's time for me to go and I gotta slow down. That's the last drink of the night. Yeah,
man, you can get it's a good. I think she did a great job promoting herself. I think she did a great job doing her videos. Yeah, they're funny. She's Julieta. If you don't like her.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. I mean, just outright, there's really, unless you're an ex-boyfriend, that's the only people I can see having maybe legitimate
guilted.
And that's because that shit's always different. So whatever. Shout out to Julieta Hernandez. She did a great job. She's gonna be representing the Catamount Lounge out there next month in Richmond, where she's gonna mop the fucking floor with all those little degenerate wannabe bar slinging pieces of ding dong.
They're gonna be like, she's gonna be like,
woo! All your cocktails are subpar.
We need, you know what? We should get her to do a like get her to do what was it? What was her name? Scary Sherry. Yeah, to do like a Scary Sherry type promo. Julieta, when you watch this, you're gonna hear this idea, and you're gonna have to. I think it's a great idea to do.
I'm coming for your souls.
We get the Claw to be in like the back as like her like her valet. Yeah, dude.
Is he gonna be in his drawers?
Yes, he has to be in his drawers, dude. That's what makes the Claw. Like, this is great. We're coming up with this as we go. But seriously, I think that would be a funny thing if she did like a pro wrestling shoot for it. Like, it'd be like, listen here, you little scoundrels or squirmy worms or whatever, but like make up some weird. Like she would, and knowing her, if she's so nice and bubbly and energetic, it would come out amazingly like humorous, and she's funny as fuck. So she would probably have her own take on it. So. Julieta, you're gonna when you hear this idea.
Good old promo.
When you hear this idea in the future, shout out your boy. But did a great job. I'm super excited. I think it's gonna be a good thing because then people get to come and see people. We're hoping that it's gonna cross over into different markets. Like I think that we're starting to establish ourselves locally as the spot. If you want to have like a real craft cocktail, and I'm not taking away from any of the other bars, but like we take a little bit more time, and that's
I do think that like there are certain nexuses in Front Royal that people go to, and I think Catamounts that now.
Yeah, I mean, and we're the spot. If you're a musician and you want to come and talk to musicians, or if you want to come and if you're a performing artist of like different sorts, you want to come and like interact and have your chance to do your thing, and you want to network and meet people. It's a spot to be. So that's really cool. And so shout out to Shannon and Chris on their endeavor there, and also they're my bosses. So
little ass kissing.
I've never seen. If y'all have never seen a public ass kissing, there it is. That's actually how we know Rob. That's how Rob. Well, we met a little bit prior, but we both probably like to forget that and then just move on to how we met at the Catamount Lounge.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so we met at the Catamount Lounge. I was in the bathroom. He opened the door.
The streams crossed.
I jumped in.
Well, the good news is,
you like poop?
No. No, I said that. No, I said that, Rob, and then you said. Oh man, that's good. That's good. Yeah, but anyways, so we all. Yeah, it's a good time, man.
That's a great set. I love the vibe. Like I went there. I'm trying to remember why the first time I went there. I went there and I just fell in love with like the whole vibe. Right off the bat, man. I was like, I'm definitely.
You came in as Robby Pepperones.
Robby Pepperones.
It's Robby Pepperones, and then you graduated, man, and you've moved on. You've evolved as a pepperone from Robby Pepperones. I had you on there as Bobby D. Anchovy for a minute. Was another one of your ticket aliases.
I moved on to the salad.
Think right now
the crab, the salad with the crab now.
Oh yeah, crab. I got to come up with. I haven't had.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't even figured one out for that yet, and that's unfortunate because crabs. And they're inherently you can make silly, dirty jokes about crabs all day. There's an entire restaurant chain there based off of the innuendo of pubic crabs and blue crabs, and for some reason, as society, we've let that slide. Could you imagine like if there was like a place that was like, oh yeah, well we do like great flans and we make herpes references to them, like how the fuck, like, oh yeah, come to herpes and have,
I think inherently anytime you get closer to the beach with a restaurant, you can be like, yeah, we call this place titties.
Yeah.
Welcome to the beach.
Pirate big dicks.
There's a great meme, and it's like, in France, when you go to the south of France, you go to a cafe and it's like Le Petit Cochon or like something like, something like that. But in America, when you go, it's like big dicks, lice infested, crab crater.
Yo, welcome to the pussy shack.
No, it's just welcome to the pussy.
Kids eat free.
Yeah. Now I want to open up a beach restaurant called The Pussy.
Kids and seniors.
Like a black cat on it.
Free. Get on down to the pussy.
Yeah. Get on down to the pussy at the beach. It's pussy.
Drink specials at the pussy all week.
But I feel like you're doing something right, though. If you have STDs, you've made STDs like, you're like a restaurant, you made it popular, you're doing something right. That speaks to your food.
What if the dude that just runs the place is like, I got gonorrhea. We gonna call it, we'll call it the Burning Cafe.
Clippity clap.
They only serve food from Ghana.
Oh, wow, that was good, dude. Dude, a Ghana restaurant. Oh my god! And you know what, man? Ghana's a beautiful country, so let's.
It is.
I used to work with a dude from Ghana. He was in culture shock dealing with fucking younger people every day. I remember like there was this thing on the internet a while ago. It might have been TikTok or Instagram. They would show you pictures of girls twerking, and then it would go to some horrible like war footage or somebody like Ellsberg getting his head cut off or some shit. And I remember seeing who this other kid was gonna walk over and show it to him, and I see this like 50-year-old Ghana dude's looking at it, and it's a girl twerking. He's like, yeah, yeah, and then all of a sudden you hear like somebody getting hurt, and he's like, you are sick. You are sick. And just walks away. And I was like, yo, you just ruined his whole week, bro. Like, he was looking at ass and then he just saw blood.
Either that or his brain got rewired.
He's
to
like,
get a boner off something else.
He probably went home and was like, fuck Americans. Fucking ruined vagina for me.
Twerk.
Oh, man. So, y'all see the worst breakdancing ever this week?
Oh my god, I love it.
It may
I
be the
love
best.
it.
It may have gone so bad.
I'm firmly
She's
convinced.
famous now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
she's,
firmly
like,
convinced.
Goal achieved.
Somebody
She
was
will-
committing a joke with that. There has to be some
She was like, watch
reason.
this.
Well, no. You know what it is. It's like I think that in certain sports, from what I understand, like there's certain sports you have to like have a certain amount of competitors in, and so like they'll encourage a country that doesn't necessarily have that team to just say, hey, fuck it, let anybody go for it, and they just let people go for it. Yeah, there was that time they had like that. I forget. I think it was an African person, and they put him in a swimming event. And no bullshit, like it was like one of those things. It was a dude competed in the Olympics, but it took him like 10 minutes, whereas most people took 45
Was he
seconds.
trying to run across the bottom? What the fuck was he doing?
Listen, man, I'm just gonna leave before we cross any racial boundaries. I'm just gonna leave this one here. All right, like,
I'll cross him.
Saying.
Motherfucker.
All right, well, go for it, and you know what I'm saying.
Was it long distance swimming? What this motherfucker doing?
It was not. It was interesting. But no, what I'm saying is, I think that they have to have a certain amount of competitors.
Yeah.
So then there's like probably some sort of financial stipend given to get those people there, and then just like the countries do what the best they can do, and which is weird. But I will also say that I think that because drug testing happens and they use and weed is part of the drug testing, the best breakdancers are like,
why is weed even part of the test? And what are you gonna make you like? Yo, he can do cartwheels real good when he's stoned. Don't let him.
Well, it was like the bullshit with the woman in the last Olympics. When
they did. She couldn't go this time either.
The runner,
Sha'Carri Richardson. One of the person that actually took the picture of my daughter right there doing jiu-jitsu actually takes pictures of her. Took pictures of her at the Olympic trials and everything, so she knows her really well. Like, and she's talked to like about it, and like that lady is like. Fucking should be in the Olympics, and every time they don't let her or they disqualify her, that shit's ridiculous. Like, it definitely seems like targeting, because I'm sure, like, because Michael Phelps is talking about how he smoked weed. Like,
seriously,
athletes
guys,
smoke
athletes
weed.
just don't smoke for a few months. Don't, like, if you know that you're going to compete.
You know what? The way you feel about kids cussing is the way I feel athletes smoking weed. All right, like, man, y'all get out there. You take your bong hits and you shake your dick.
So we'll say,
shake your dick.
Well, so the actual
Smoke weed every day.
The actual, I think the level for the Olympics is super high. So like you can't smoke within like a long time because they test for metabolites like after like what it breaks down to your body.
I'll be like
for
metabolite
instance,
my dick.
The UFC and most athletic commissions for combat sports have dropped it to where as long as you don't get high before you go out, you're fine, because they know like their argument is like especially with weed is like on top of they have like outdated safety concerns, is it can be a performance enhancer for certain people. Now for like NBA players are all fucking smoking weed. And like that's the league has totally dropped testing because they're like, we won't have any athletes left if we test everybody for weed.
If I remember correctly too, there was like some video clips of like the dudes in the Raiders locker room.
Oh yeah,
getting just blazing down after games, dude. Like
yeah.
I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's AI shit. I don't know.
I think you definitely should be able to do it. Now, I would rather, for me personally, I've had cortisone shots. I've had neck surgery and shit. I would rather smoke weed or do edibles than the amount of like opiates they had me on. Like I had to talk to
as well.
I had to talk to my doctor before I even went on the shit, because it was before like the opiate crisis. But I was like, people get addicted to opiates, And I told my doctor every single time that you give me a new prescription, like knock that shit down, because I don't want to be addicted to where like when I was still in a neck brace and I was on like tramadol instead of even being on an opiate, because it was like I had a good doctor instead of one that was like, I'm gonna pump you full of everything. Like I didn't even like. I came out of the hospital and I was on Dilaudid and morphine, and then I didn't go to like Oxycontin or anything. They didn't do that. So
you know the way she feels about kids cussing is the way I feel about doctors and opiates. I was kidding.
So I've always
I was just kidding. I don't know. I'm like, yo, pump me full of it. What? I can get more?
What is it?
So I was gonna say, like, my argument is I don't even smoke. Like, I'm 100% sober in all ways, not just weekday sober, not just California sober. Like, I'm sober, but I'm also pro marijuana. Like, I don't think it's a big deal. When it comes to sports, I've always said it's not a performance enhancer, so who cares? But you're saying what?
So for me, personally, I will tell you 100%. If I go out to my fucking truck right before I go and start sparring, I will fuck people up in jiu-jitsu, because it's the same way if you take a little bit of weed and you like do art. Mm-hmm. That flow state that you get into, mm-hmm. especially if I take like 4 alpha brain and then I fucking like take 2 hits off a bowl, mm-hmm. I can't talk to you. I can't like I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm like, everybody's looking at me. But if there's a leg lock I can set up, it's like my brain just like it automatically happens. I think for certain people, and like I wouldn't want to learn, like if somebody was teaching me like a new like chain of submissions, it would be harder to remember it. Right. But once I've already remembered that shit and taken it in, it becomes like that block in between thinking I'm going to do something and doing it is gone. Gotcha. So it definitely, I would say, yeah, like I would understand why for some people, like there's these 2 fighters in the UFC, the Diaz brothers. One of them got disqualified in Japan because they said like for the level of THC in his system, he had to be smoking right before he went out the curtains to go fight.
Like, wait a minute, wait.
I'm ready.
Maybe anxiety.
I feel him though.
Well, they've talked also about like the same thing. Like they used to smoke and then go to the gym, and it was half on purpose because they wanted to make sure they were worked out. And if they got too high, they would just start hitting the bag and started talking to people at the gym. So they'd be like, "No, don't talk to me." And I've definitely been in the gym like, "Oh no, I'm gonna say something stupid."
I think that everybody should smoke weed every day, all day.
This is the Chris message of the
show. That's my PSA. If everybody did that, we'd just have, just imagine how great.
Just take your happy
I'm
pill.
kidding. I'm just kidding. That's a silly hippie
If we could just drop acid in the fucking water fountains at the fucking
down.
Congress, maybe we'd have a better world.
Yeah,
those motherfuckers would have a God moment.
Micro dose a little bit. Open your fucking third eye.
Yeah, and maybe stop being a dickhead and start using
it. Boof it. If you have to.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say also with the microdose, and that's gotten real popular. And I actually looked into it because of the psilocybin therapy. Mm-hmm. So actually, like getting guided therapy is actually supposed to be. It's kind of emerging, but it's supposed to be like a really great way to like kind of rewire your brain.
Oh yeah,
you got disorders and phobias and stuff like that. But it has to be like guided. Like it's literally like you're there with a therapist.
Well, I know they do that with ketamine.
Yep.
And of course, like stuff like ayahuasca and stuff like that, you got to have a shaman like doing like Icaros and shit, or else you're like I've heard about like ayahuasca. It has this high success rate for people with serious addictions, like opiate addictions and like serious behavioral issues. And a lot of people say you see the fucked up shit you've done to other people from their perspective.
Oof.
So that seems like, yeah, I can understand why you would want to stop being an asshole. Like you saw like how like you treated your parents when you were like, fuck you, I'm stealing your car and I'm gonna fucking buy Xannies. Like I could definitely see that being but like that one apparently has a huge one. Now it is a guided therapy, so that could be part of it. But I know a lot of the guiding is making sure you don't like fucking swallow your vomit when you're writhing around. So, like. But I know ketamine. Neil Brennan talked about in one of his specials about how he did ketamine and it was like part of his therapy. So I think that's a new thing, and I don't know if that's just as we get older, the people that have done the substances are like, yeah, it's not that scary. Like with because I think that's a lot of it is people have had experience because of the stigma from like the 60s and 70s of that like that act that came through where it made everything illegal. Before that, I think. If you look at like the beat generation, like people that were counterculture in the 50s, they were all on like all kinds of shit, and they weren't going to jail like up until the 60s. And like if you look at the writing from there, I think it parallels a lot of stuff in the later 60s where they were doing it. Now the 80s was a totally different thing. Which one of the microphones is acting up?
Is that me? Who is it? Who did it? Oh,
That's
you.
you,
George. You son of a bitch.
My microphone was acting a fool.
Come on.
But I definitely think as we get further along with people that are in positions of power for mental health, there's going to be a lot more of differences based on people and where they're at, rather than just like this blanket thing of being like, let's talk about everything. They'll be like, let's talk about it with this. Let's do like this. Let's go run.
It's a national crisis. We have a national healthcare crisis right now. So we got to go that route. Like I've talked to you a little bit, but I'm very open. Like on top of ADHD, I'm also bipolar, and this is why I've looked into things like this before. Like my shit's all in order. I take my meds, you know what I mean? And even when I'm off meds, it's not that bad. My dips and everything are not too crazy. But I've looked into trying to do permanent fixes by maybe doing like a guided ketamine or a guided psilocybin, and everything. Colorado, the way they're going, that sounds like that's me kind of the place to go. Because that's like the spot to go where that's kind of emerging. So that's actually, speaking of microgreens, that's actually how I kind of got into it, because microgreens have been shown to help neural pathways grow much quicker. And so when somebody is bipolar, you kind of have damaged neural pathways have been broken, and sometimes they'll struggle to grow. So microgreens actually have been shown to kickstart all that and gets things going. So
Cool.
I'm all for it, man. I've read up on it some too, quite a bit. Yeah, I think I'm all about it, man. I think
anything
I
that
am
works.
too.
I think we have to meet people where they're at
Yeah.
with a lot of stuff, because everybody's got shit they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just the old model of being like, let's shock them. Like,
yeah.
I think that, and I think that's a definite stigma. Like, especially people that are older than us, like our parents' generation. Like, I think that's why they have that stigma with people that are either need mental help or are just like in therapy. I think there's a stigma, especially with like my parents' generation was definitely like,
Oh yeah.
going to therapy. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do with it. They would throw them in jail. They wouldn't even know what to do with them.
You
what I
could.
mean?
I found out something back in the day, up until the 1970s. You could lock somebody up for being ugly and homeless.
That's tight. What about
Yeah,
that?
dude. Yeah, dude.
So that's
What the fuck?
well, that's cool, isn't it? Like that's
That's some wild shit. That used to be a law. Like, yo, they too ugly in public. Like, get them in jail.
Pittsburgh was empty.
LOL.
Not anymore.
My bad.
LOL.
Oh,
Anything
gosh.
going on in the chat? We got anything?
No more poop.
Nah, like
Any
Has
response to poop?
Has poop guy responded?
As poop dog? Poop
I honestly
dog.
want-
no
more.
response from Poop Dog yet.
That's so
Poop
funny.
dog.
We did get Claude on here. Claude liked the post from the old show.
Aw. Shout out to the Claw.
The claw.
A.K.A. Chadwick Clawson.
Boom, boom, boom.
Ba-da-ba.
We got about 10 minutes left. Let's get on the Plug Fest.
Yeah, but, I mean, what?
The Plug Fest.
But what? Hey.
The Horsetail Butt Plug Fest.
Hey.
So where can we get to you on social media? Where can people obtain these luscious greens you got going?
Yeah, so if you are local, I sell over at Better Times right here by Martin's. I also sell over at Dusty's Country Store right there on Main Street. Dusty's awesome. If you dealt with her, she actually is. We're actually taking. Speaking of doing something else, we're actually taking the red radish, which I think you're really familiar with. It's kind of got like a black pepper taste to it, and we're actually making sourdough now. So we actually have a Robby D's.
shit.
Yeah,
Somebody's
red radish
making a loaf
sourdough.
of bread.
Yo, Crispy loving sourdough.
It's
I
all.
love some sourdough. I did not get sourdough at the farmer's market this weekend.
You were
man.
late. You were late.
I was late, man. It was terrible. It's because I'm lazy in the morning on Sundays. You know what they say? Easy like a Sunday morning. My shit goes into overtime, man. All right. It's crazy. But hey, speaking of, can you grab some greens? Can we munch on some greens on air? We can do
Yeah, bring the
it's all-
shark.
We should go out on some
I'll bring
ASMR
the
shit.
The
charcuterie.
coochie.
Ooh, we're gonna bring the whole thing in here. Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe we
Room
should
on the
make-
coochie board.
Let's make some room.
And also, I was going to say
Make room
too.
for the coochie. I mean charcuterie.
So for those also not local, Shenval up there by Dinosaur Land, the little farm market right on the corner. She was actually the first person to take a chance on me. So big shout out to Shenval Farm Market.
Take a chance
I love
on
y'all.
me.
Take a chance on D's. Robby D's, that is.
Robby D.
Dude, that's a good slogan, man. Take a chance on D's. Robby D's. Little Greens, everybody.
So I don't know if anybody's caught, like I literally got like 5 followers or some shit on IG, but I put it out there. I had a huge thing of broccoli. And I said, if you walk up to me at the farmer's market on Sundays and you say, Robby D's is for me's, I will give you this monster container free.
You heard it here first, everybody. Two breaking news.
Yeah.
If you say, what is it again?
Robby D's for me's. The coolest shit I can come
D's
up
for
with.
me. Yo, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going straight from the horn on this. We got some. We're talking about pea shoots. Ladies and gentlemen, these are. Hold on. I'm not even trying to. I'm like, yeah. I'm getting mine.
Chris is just getting his green on over there.
Yo,
He knows what's
I'm
up.
packing bowls.
And this without label, this is actually broccoli. It's
Oh,
fresh.
shit.
I took it right before I showed up here, so that is fresh.
Will you pass me a piece of the coochie? The coochery?
Which one?
Oh man, I need something.
Maybe go up the whole board? Let me finger
No.
fuck something.
Yeah, finger bang bang.
There you go. Oh, finger fuck some cheese for you.
It pairs well with a white cheddar. I think this is fantastic.
I'm gonna make a little Sammy with it.
Ooh, we're making
Oh, shit.
sandwiches. See, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's a cracker Sammy.
Yo, Cracker Sammy. I know a couple of crackers named Sammy.
Which one's which?
So this would be a daikon radish. It's got a little bite to it.
Get your dyke on.
How's
you doing?
That's a
Get
broccoli.
your daikon.
Your broccoli here is also it's nutty. The broccoli's nutty, and then this is like a broccoli blend. Got a little bite to it.
Check out my
Let me know what you
sandwich.
think.
Check out my sandwich.
I'm always looking for feedback. I don't care if it's good, bad, or ugly. Always looking for
It's
feedback.
gonna be ugly the way I'm gonna bite into this thing.
Also, shout out on the drifting thing. I was going to shout out for Shenandoah Speedway. That's kind of like the whole clique. That's where we pretty much post up at. We're down there pretty much at every single event. So big thanks to Shenandoah Speedway. We'll be down there in a couple weeks.
It's also
That's
known
pretty.
as a G spot because that's where the homies hang. It's hard to find though.
Lita's,
But when you get
Lita's
there-
excited about the stepped up charcuterie game.
Yeah, they're for real though. It's like it sets off the whole thing. You know?
Yeah. It does really well with the coochie
You know?
boards.
Yeah. Hold on, I need to get more coochie.
Very good.
I'm getting double cooch.
Ooh, I do like it. It's
Double
got a peppery
cooch.
taste.
Yep.
to it.
Yep.
You know what? Like, you can make look. It's 70s bush.
There you go.
We call it.
Stuffed.
I call it the 70s bush. How's you doing? Is there any mustard out here?
Yeah. There's some
Yo, will you
hot,
squirt me?
spicy German
Yo, will you hot
mustard.
spicy me? Yo, hey, will you? Yeah. Oh, baby. Oh.
Which one's the peppery one?
This is a red radish. This is more like a black pepper taste to it.
Interesting. I never realized that they would have such
A lot of flavor, right?
Yeah.
They so as small as they are. That's what I always tell people with the radishes. I'm like, if you don't know, if you've never had it before, just buy the small container because it's got a lot of bite to it. But yeah,
And if your ass don't know,
Better call
somebody.
step up your charcuterie board.
Let me do this coochery right now. Woo! I need this. I can feel the nutrients repairing my brain right now.
Dude, like some of the like stats I've seen. So an entire bowl, like a small bowl of broccoli florets, is I can basically a small handful of the broccoli sprouts is equal to an entire bowl.
So they're just more nutrient dense no matter what.
Way more nutrient dense, yeah. And the taste is way better.
Are you doing it like a burrito?
A little bit of everything. And everything I've had so far, the taste is better than its full-grown thing. You know what I mean? Like the broccoli, it's broccoli, but it tastes like broccoli.
I got twist
you know
this
what I mean?
one up.
It's a much better taste, I think.
Twisting up, dog. Twisting up on the scene. You know what I'm saying?
Health burrito.
I couldn't smoke this episode. So I had to get it in somewhere. Shout out. Holla at your boy.
The health burrito.
Yeah, this is tight.
Oh Lord. And you're going to be doing all kinds of stuff with this greens.
Yeah, and also I guess a shout out to the farmers market. So every second and third or second and fourth Sunday down at the gazebo is the farmers market. We'll be there through the fourth weekend of October, I believe, right? Yeah.
You know, I don't often talk about my affiliation with the farmers market because of the
I don't want to fuck up your
some of the stuff that goes on the show. But shout out to my downtown Front Royal Incorporated brethren and sisters for doing farmers market stuff. Danielle, we're coming for you on the show, Danielle and Cole.
I think they'll come. I think they'll come out, man.
I would hope so.
I think they would, man. I'm big. I like the community give back though. That's big, man. That's I enjoy it, man. Like I do. Like that's why I love doing the soccer thing, man. It's fun, man. It's a lot. It takes a lot out of you, but it's fun, man.
Soccer moms, baby.
Soccer moms.
Doing the minivan.
That's how I met the girlfriend I got now, man.
You know about the minivan?
What? We're not doing minivan.
You know about the minivan? 2 up front, 5 in the rear.
Jesus. 5 in the rear. Oof. That's loaded.
That's what I'm saying,
That's
man.
loaded.
You ever been in a Honda Odyssey?
Honda Odyssey fucks.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I love Honda Odysseys, man. Goddamn right.
It's funny you mention that though, because I legitimately my current girlfriend is a soccer mom.
Did you guys meet at soccer?
We didn't, but it was not too long
Damn
after
it.
that. Though. I know.
You didn't, but then you guys showed up at the same place one day when you made it. Yeah. Like, oh, dude, you're here to play with balls? Me too. Hey.
Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing out.
Hold on, I'm going back. I'm making another. I'm rolling up another one.
On top of the delicious food, a lot of knowledge about it. I'm sure most people don't know about the microgreens and like at the very least the nutrient density.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, and I always tell people too. This is another thing. Like, if you're not a big veggie person, this is kind of the way you want to go because you don't need much. Like, it does not take much at all to get your daily allowance that you need. But you can throw shit on a burger. You know what I mean? You don't have to eat like healthy. You can take it and just like church up something.
Be like, I'm gonna make something not healthy, healthier.
Healthier. It's like getting a Diet Coke. A little something.
A
Just a little bit more.
little bit on
First
there.
of all,
something more.
hamburgers, cheeseburgers are the quintessential of health food, all right? It covers all of the basic food groups. They are...
Lena's rolling her eyes inside of her head right now.
Yeah, but Lita goddamn knows well that if we were at Speelunkers
I
right
do
now,
love
she'd
a
be
good burger.
thugging on a...
Yeah, I would fuck a burger up for real.
Splunkers is
I actually
great, man.
kind of want a burger. Like I've been craving, like a good one, not like a shout out to Spelunkers because I
Yep,
do like
because
them,
we're-
but I want like a fancy ass burger, you know.
Big old $20 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's fancier than toasted buns,
Like
hand ground?
like grass fed,
Yeah, there's shit.
like
There's shit all...
like literally like nurtured before they slaughter them.
Like you can hear the
Have you
cows
been
in
to
the
the
other
whole-
room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
the
you been
cows
to
are in
the-
the room next to
Have
you.
you been to the whole ox yet?
No, I have not.
Oh, they are good.
We do need to go there.
Yeah, I
And
would
Marshall-
like to because I do enjoy. I don't eat a lot of red meat, but when I do,
You throw down.
And then next door to
Yeah.
that's Field and Maine, and they won the Northern
Yep.
Virginia's best burger.
really,
Yeah,
see,
So
Marshall is actually like popping off. They build a bunch of stuff down there.
yeah. They got
like
the whole
a,
ox too. Just got
yeah.
it just got opened. Like Derek,
Yeah.
we're gonna get Derek and Amanda said they would come on the show once
Awesome.
when the season slows down a little bit. We're gonna get them on the show. Who else we need? We need to get Danielle and Cole on the show. We have Char. I always said Chaz. We got Chaz. Yeah, Chaz and Karen from Main Street Geek are going to be on. I think is it next week?
I'm not sure.
I'll look. I don't mind.
I know you've started booking in it. Now we always
I
have guests.
I have a calendar. I have a calendar, and you know what? I got it from Main Street Geek. It's
Oh,
amazing.
shit.
Yeah, it's a Marvel calendar.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's tight. It's at home.
Main Street Geek is like
Well,
awesome.
actually, maybe it's my bag.
I do like the fact that Main Street is starting
This
to
is
get
my
like
bag, baby.
stores that are more like Main Street Geek was around, and you just see a lot of more people and foot traffic down there. Like, and then they're gonna go to like like the parents are gonna go to the fucking if their kids are there checking stuff out. They're gonna go to Front Royal Wines or fucking like any number of places down there and just peruse. And I think that's a good thing for Main Street.
I am a big there. You know what? I think that I'm one of their best clients, and I don't like to think of it as a comic book or a toy store. For me personally, it's a brokerage. Because these are investments that I'm making for long term.
Is this what you tell Kelly?
I'm currently telling her in a public forum about why I do the comic book investments. But you know what? Actually, to be real, like it's funny because there are some comics that like they in 1 week from 1 week to another, they'll double in value, and that's and you know what? If you do that several times, then you will. I have never done one. Because I tell myself I'm going to sell it, and then when it comes time to sell it, I'm always like, but remember that time that we came together at the store?
Yeah. See, I feel that way about like some of the toys that are there. I'm like, ooh, this is like, I'm a toy person. I like collectibles.
And the toys they have are primo. I mean, that place is top quality. If there's anybody that doesn't live in Front Royal, if you want to find a place for firsthand collectibles and awesome stuff,
got wild rare shit like her son Matthew likes fucking Godzilla, like it's fucking going out of style, and they had some fucking tiny toy that I had never seen before. It looked just like Japanese.
Yeah, he loves
like everything.
Thing.
Yeah. Like so, it's like you can like walk into a place thinking about walk into a place and think about like something that's like like more comic-y or just like more cult or whatever. You can find it in there. You'll like just look through it and you'll be like, holy crap.
They got the deep cut for sure.
Yeah, they've got a wine glass that I keep eyeing every time I see it. It's like it's the Game of Thrones, and it says I drink and I know things, and I want that. I actually might we have a bar like a bar hanging bar, and I put that on there. And when I walked into that place, I was like, that's the wine. I need that wine glass for my bar now because I literally have it. I drink it. I know things. I need to have that glass. So hopefully it's still there because I'm probably going to get it soon.
I know if you like G.I. Joes, they have all kinds of like old school G.I. Joes. And some of them are like, just a figure or whatever. But like I remember seeing some of those. I was like, yo, it's Gridiron. I remember having that in my pocket in 5th grade.
Yeah, I like my Ninja Turtle stuff, man. That's my thing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. The value on those, I'm so pissed that I tore those up as a kid. Jesus, Key Rice, man. I tore a bunch of those up. I had several. Like, I had multiples of those things. I used to break them and shit. I kick myself
like this time. Ultimate Warrior figure is probably the only toy that I remember having from like a kid, and I fucking randomly found it in a box like when I moved in here. I was like, all right.
Hell yeah.
Lita, where can people get a hold of you for your art foolery?
Hi. I actually have 2 pages on Instagram because I've had people ask for both. You can find me a Lola on Loan. That's my regular page. I post funny stuff and stuff about my life. Or you can just look at my online portfolio. That's That Is Odd, all underscored on Instagram. Hit me up. Look at my stuff. If you see something that you like, I might still have it available. Ask me about it. I might sell it to you if I like you enough. Otherwise, I will be at the Fall Festival this year. You will see my wonderful, wonderful digs. The Little Snail, That Is Odd. Come and buy all my stuff. You guys cleared me out this spring, and it made me so happy. So definitely hit me up. You see something that you like? Let me know. I do commission stuff as well.
You say buy shit? Buy shit.
Buy my art. Buy it.
If you don't buy it, you can kiss my ass.
Chris, where can we hear all of your comedy?
Oh man, I don't know. Man, I think I took a little bit of time the past couple Friday. I mean, I did a couple of things last week. I don't know. Maybe this week. I don't know. I think I maybe take this week to do some writing, and cool my jets. But if not, you can find my normal comedic stylings of just me being funny in person, or a funny looking person at the Catamount Lounge most nights, not Sunday night, or Tuesday or Wednesday night. So any other nights you will find me there. This week we have Punky Brewsters.
Ooh, you know what?
We've had everybody but Paul on the show.
We got to get Paul on the show.
We need to get Paul on the show.
You know what else I'm going to announce right now? You know what this is? It's my birthday week.
Oh,
Acknowledge me. No. I will be at the Catamount Lounge on Thursday, probably intoxicated because I don't got to go to work the next day. I'm probably gonna be wearing my Hoochie Daddy shorts. So holler at your boy.
Make two of us.
Holler at your boy if you know what I'm saying. They might be a little bit like you might see a little bit of like underball. That might be in your future.
So you might even smell some from under cheese.
Nah, they gonna be no cheese. Smooth
As eggs.
Turtle shell.
Yeah, like a turtle shell, a little bit hard. I've been bounced them off things. I toughened them up like old martial artists used to do with their knuckles.
Pound them in the sand.
Dropping them in there on hot coals. Oh fuck. Go over to Helltown Radio, everything at Helltown Radio. Go over to Dirtbag Radio. Look at me doing dumb shit like eating hamburgers with fucking donuts as buns. Fat people shit. Go over to Capital MMA if you want to get schooled and how to defend yourself and do things like that, or you just want to learn how to strangle. I don't know. Also, call your friends, call your mama. Everybody loves you. You forget that sometimes because the world is harsh.
Just remember,
suplex your week.
Yo, and watch out for the micro P.
I should probably also give my website, which is
do it.
I should probably fucking do that, right? It's
micro P.
Right, micro P. Robby ROBBY D's DS Little LIL Greens GRENS RobbyD'sLittleGreens.com.
Get it.
If you live within 30 miles, I will deliver to your front door for free.
For free.
You'll drift race there even.
I will drift. Slam into the front of your house.
Tokyo!
Little Bow Wow will come with him.
He probably could use the money.
Yeah, he's Big Bow Wow. He done ate too many extra value meals. He's like, yo, they got that $5 meal on the app. Bow Wow.
Bow Weezy.
Bow Weezy.
But this was a lot of fun, man.
Thank you for coming out. Like,
I really fucking this flew by. Like, I was like, man, am I gonna have enough shit to like talk about? Like, I was like, I'm not that fucking like entertaining.
Oh yeah, man,
but
this is
like,
hilarious. I'm enjoying the snack time actually.
He's like,
Chris is full
at this
snack.
point in time, it doesn't matter. You can turn the motherfucking mic off. I don't give a fuck. I'm like,
he's like, yo, did you see these microgreens and cheese, baby?
I hit that 150 milligrams deep here.
yeah.
Where we are.
Well, next time, here's the thing, man. Now I know kind of the setup. Come back. I'm gonna have a spread. We're gonna do like sourdough spread. We're gonna do.
Sourdough.
We're gonna do like a whole thing.
Chris is gonna book you like 3 weeks from now.
For 3 weeks. Come to my house tomorrow.
And once we get that drink
we'll
going
do
on,
our own podcast.
once we get some drinks going on too, we're gonna. I mean, I need taste testers, man. I'll bring it
dude.
all around. Alcohol, non-alcoholic, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, Lita has the most defined palate out of all of us.
Okay.
I will definitely do that. Like I'm big on health foods and stuff, so I'm actually excited about the juicing thing.
Yeah.
And a healthy alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Can you get like a whiskey loaded with antioxidants?
Yeah.
does it get any better
Oh,
than
I'd
that?
do it.
Yeah.
Make a 4 horsemen out of it.
Yep.
All right. Next week, lots of stuff. Remember, suplex your week. Don't like Brian Sargis, don't be wearing fucking shorts on stage. These out.
Bye.
Thanks, y'all.